Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to A.J. Everhart Memorial Gymnasium for tonight's volleyball match between the Lady Warriors from Elizabeth Ford and the Lady Raiders of Uniontown. We'll be underway at 6 p.m., which is in about 32 minutes time for the JV match. Varsity will follow, so please check us out here on UHS Talk. Share this link. We are expecting the varsity match to begin somewhere around 7:30 p.m. later tonight. During the warm-ups, we will keep the feed active, but we will be on mute, and we will unmute at the beginning of the JV match. Thank you.
I gotta feed the streets. I will speak eventually, but I'm just going to try to get the numbers here of the Uniontown kids. Where should I'm one kid short.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to A.J. Everhart Memorial Gymnasium inside of Uniontown Area High School for tonight's contest between the Elizabeth Ford Lady Warriors, who'll be working on the left-hand side of your screen. They are dressed tonight in red and black with white number and trim. Their libero will wear black. For the Uniontown Red Raiders, the Lady Raiders occupy the right side of your screen. They will wear maroon with white and black trim and a white number. Their libero tonight will wear white. We are scheduled for a 6 p.m. start for junior varsity, with our varsity matchup to follow about 20 minutes after the conclusion of the junior varsity contest. And we want to thank you for joining us tonight. Please consider sharing the link and getting the word out that these broadcasts have continued, and we plan to continue them into the future as well. We have soccer for you next week on UHS Talk, and we're going to be back with the volleyball team in October on Monday, October 6th. That will be senior night for the Uniontown Lady Raiders as they take on the Carmichael's Lady Mikes that evening. Hello again, if you're just joining us. I'm Joshua Scully alongside Jonathan Guth tonight from the Uniontown Herald-Standard. John, this is a matchup between two teams, Section 3A, granted junior varsity here, but these players already familiar with each other. Many of these players faced each other last season, and they may be able to build off some familiarity tonight.
Yes, Justin, thank you for having me as always, and welcome everyone. I appreciate you listening, watching. Yeah, this is going to be important to get that foundation. Then these girls can kind of understand what they're going to have to look for, because obviously, you know, Josh, a lot of these girls playing right here now will be on the varsity team probably, and they may even play some tonight in the varsity, because if I'm wrong, correct me, but the JVs can play on the varsity.
Yes, absolutely.
So here we go with Uniontown first.
This is going to be Paige Butler sends one. The EF libero on the floor will play it. And this is going to be a free ball sent back over by the Lady Warriors number 3, Addison Watt. Free ball back from the Lady Raiders. They're going to load up Watt again, hitting middle, a big swing, and that one is in. And the Lady Warriors are on the board. Elizabeth Ford again coming to us tonight from Elizabeth, Pennsylvania, Elizabeth Ford School District. That is the borough of Elizabeth, Elizabeth Township, and Forward Township. And the Lady Warriors will serve for us now. Number 5, Emma Dyer, the freshman, is not able to clear the net. We have a service error here, and Uniontown's on the board, 1-1 in set 1 of JV. We play best out of 3. Coaching the JV team for Uniontown tonight will be assistant coach Ricky Spear. Coach Spear did a nice job prior to the match, warming the team up. And, of course, varsity coach for Uniontown, Paulina Nottingham, also on the bench for the Raiders, as this serve gets away, and the Red Raiders will take their first lead of the evening. On the Elizabeth Ford side, head coach for varsity, Kelly Weir. She is assisted by Emma Miller, Kendall Fisher, and Sarah Johnson. The serve from Rhiannon Feather, going to be played near the net, and a great job there by the Lady Raiders, nearly sending that one right back down on the Lady Warriors. Now Uniontown wants to load up our side. Addison Girk had that one slip off the side of her hand, and that will even up set 1, 2-2. John, on the varsity side of this, Section 3A, beginning to separate just a little bit. Thomas Jefferson and Laurel Highlands out front. Bell Vernon and Ringgold, the middle of the pack, and I think the Lady Raiders like to see themselves as part of that middle. They need a win tonight at the varsity level against these Lady Warriors, who are coming in 1-6 on the season, although their one win came earlier this week against Albert Gallatin.
Yes, that is true, Josh. And this match, I was looking at the standings, and right now I don't want to be a negative person, but Uniontown is kind of on the outlooking end, but they're right there. They're just right behind Bell Vernon, who they have not faced yet. So to say this will be a pivotal match for the Lady Raiders is a gross understatement.
Will be exciting to see. Again, we're expecting Varsity to begin somewhere around 7:30 p.m. They usually enjoy a 20-minute break between JV and Varsity. Our officials tonight, Tony Carter and Cassidy Van Sickle. Here's a great up ball there by Maria Capon. Free ball sent over by Paige Butler, and the Lady Warriors scramble to get across the free ball. Good first touch by Girk. Now coming back the other way, a little tip here. And this one is not going to clear the net. No, it's going to be against the Lady Raiders. 4 touches. Good effort there by Uniontown, playing that ball off the net. And good work up front by Sincere Dunlap for Uniontown as well.
And a nice play there by Elizabeth forward Samantha Bubash, getting that ball, saving that there, because that was a sure point for the Lady Red Raiders. So good job on both sides there. And Josh, you have coached this sport, so I'm not going to be one of those announcers, color guys to act like I know everything, but a dig is when you kind of save that, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's a nice job there by Bubash with the dig. But the Lady Red Raiders, of course, are serving here now, and we're at all good, but all square here. But Josh, I'll let you call the action.
Katie White, unfortunately, has this one come off the base of her palm, and it skips under the net to give the Lady Warriors the lead back. Katie White's sister, Lauren White, on the varsity team for Uniontown, currently serving as a line judge on the opposite side of the floor. Always great to see our line judges. We have Kalia Tyler as a line judge for us this evening, too. This one gets away from libero Chloe Burnworth. A good-looking serve there from the Lady Warriors. That was Elizabeth Ford's number 14.
That's Bubash, right?
Yes.
So she's a freshman.
Samantha Bubash.
Yeah, and that was Samantha. And that was her first serve, right, Joel?
Yes, sir. Lady Warriors lead 6-4 in set 1. This one well played by Burnworth, and a good-looking set there from Katie White. The swing coming from the lefty, Kendall Burnworth. Working the other way, this one is going to go wide off the hands of Elizabeth Ford's number 10. Check that, 18, Hannah Treese, the freshman.
The Uniontown back serving, Josh. Cut the deficit to 1. Let's see if Addison Gerke can get it going here at the service line.
And Addison Gerke has a good serve drop in and get away from the Warriors. John, I know you were not party to this conversation, but the very first conversation I ever had with Addison was to ask her how to pronounce her last name, because we know so many Gerkes, but she is just Gerke.
Oh, Gerke, I apologize.
No, you couldn't have known, John. This serve comes over, going to be played by the Warriors libero, now to the middle, and a big swing from Treese. We have an early whistle, though, and this one's going to go against the Lady Raiders. We had a player in the net. And checking in for the Lady Warriors will be number 4, Noelle Kamick. And serving will be number 9. This is Addison Samarachek. Serve from Samarachek on the way. First touch by Dunlap, and then a quick one sent over by Katie White. That one nearly falls in. Scrambling. The Lady Warriors get one across. Now, Uniontown attacking EF again. This one comes off the side of the hand of Rhiannon Feather and does not clear the net. And so EF leads 8-6.
Josh, when you had mentioned about the pronunciation, I'm going to do the old blame myself as being a journalist. We have to worry about spelling names correctly in print, but we don't have to do the pronunciation, so now I got to learn that. But no excuses, I have to do that.
That's okay, John. You're doing a great job. As Chloe Burnworth drops back to serve. Chloe Burnworth, product of A.J. McMullen Middle School. Plays on JV with her sister, Kendall Burnworth, also on the JV squad. This serve is going to go out.
Chloe, one of your students, Josh.
She certainly was, and a very, very good one. Played basketball for me at AJ. Very good basketball player. Really enjoyed having her on the team. Her sister, too.
Warriors, Josh, Lady Warriors. I know I want to get into that in a minute here. What to call these teams.
And Treese's serve. Good spin on that one, and difficult for the Lady Raiders to handle. And now EF will take a 10-7 lead.
What I was going to say about that, Josh, is some of the teams have told me, like, for example, Laurel Highlands, that they want to be known as either the Mustangs.
Sorry, John. I had to answer a question. But I know the points you're going to make. Some teams, some schools are wishing to move away from the lady designation as we see a timeout here, and they want to be referred to in other terms.
Yes, and there's and it does, to me, whatever they want, I will accept. But there has been discussions, and I know it may not mean it very much, but I always find it interesting because I have to say, and this is no indictment on this school, so anybody from there listening, don't get mad. For Laurel Highlands, some teams I call them the Phillies, some I've called them the Lady Mustangs, some I'm just calling them the Mustangs. And the thing about it, they first started using the Phillies at the Herald Standard more from a sports writer I know. I have to give a shout out to one of the older generation, a guy by the name of Rod Cheney. The Laurel Highlands Phillies because a young female horse is a filly. There you go. I don't think that was ever said to anybody. He just did it. But like I said, some of the teams asked me to call them the Mustangs, so I will do it.
Well, thank you, John, for that breakdown. And that is certainly something we will hear more and more about as some schools have changed their approach
and in our dynamic,
in regards to their name.
Yeah, in our dynamic, Josh, as reporting, if you put a headline, you say Mustangs win, you're maybe wondering, was it the boys' Mustangs or the girls? Yeah, you never know. Unless it's football, I guess.
Correct. Although there will be football soon.
Yes,
for the young ladies.
And I guess that's coming to Uniontown as well, and doing looks like pretty good. Lady Warriors just with a 6-point lead here. There looks like a service error.
Treese has this one go long across the end line, and Uniontown will be glad for that as they trail 13-8 here in set one. Paige Butler will be doing the serving. Paige, a really, really good player for this Uniontown team. Does great work.
And that was
serve is on the way.
Sorry, Josh. That was an important point for the Lady Red Raiders to get. Now I know you have to score, but to get it back, you keep it within that 5 range, and you're not. I mean, you're still stressing. You never want to be behind, but you're feeling a little bit better when it's 5 or below.
Absolutely. 14-8 as it stands, with Emma Dyer doing the serve. Here it is. Going to come off the hands of Kylie Morris and out of play. And now EF leads 15-8.
Josh, Uniontown, I took an earlier timeout. I'm not sure, we may have not have mentioned that. I was busy telling you the differences between the the nicknames of the ladies versus the men. As EF goes up by 8 here. But Uniontown already took a timeout, so there's one more, correct?
Yes, sir. One more for Uniontown. 2 for EF. EF leads at 16-8. Morris with the first touch. A good set here from Butler. They're going to go to Badinsky. Badinsky swings, and it's going to be the libero for EF who charges this one forward into the net, and so the Red Raiders will pull back within 7, 16-9, and it will be Rhiannon Feather who drops back to serve. Speaking of basketball, middle school prowess, John, Rhiannon Feather played basketball in her middle school days too, led the team in points and rebounds, and this serve is going to be a good one. EF scrambling nearly into the cheer section to try to make a play on that, and Rhiannon Feather has the team now within 6. 16-10 is your score here in set one. We do play best of 3 for JV. So even if Uniontown is not able to complete the comeback here, certainly an opportunity to bounce out in set 2 in style and get back in this match.
And momentum, and I've had coaches tell me this, that momentum in volleyball is, I mean, it's really back and forth. I mean, you go on runs, almost like in a hoops game. and sometimes you're just it's taken out of you, and then you can get back on the other way. So it's very game of runs, and that as a coach, I'm sure that can sometimes be a little frustrating. You only get 2 timeouts a set here. Basketball, I guess you get 5. So different things there. Now EF with another point here.
That was Riley Bursick who drops one in against Chloe Burnworth, and Burnworth has this one come off of her arms and then behind her out of play. 18-10. So far, so good here for EF. They have taken an early lead in this set and have done well to hold it. Girk, good-looking pass in the set from Butler to Capon in the middle. Capon going to swing down right at the libero for EF. That was Johnston coming back the other way. It's going to be the other Capon setting up Girk with a push. And a touch now for number 3 in the middle. That was Addison Wack for EF. And Wack is going to make contact with the net. And this one is going to go to Uniontown, 18-11 now. I do want to recognize the effort from freshman Marley Johnston on the EF side. Their libero has been involved early and often, does a great job moving around, of course, the back of that defense as you want to see your libero do. She seems to always be in the right spot to at least get a touch. Maria Capon, one of 2 Capons on the team, Maria and Sophia. We're going to see Dunlap actually sub back in for Sophia Capon, and Maria Capon is just waiting for that substitution to be completed. Mr. Carter, I think, is fingerprinting them, and now he's going to send them in. We're making sure we have the right players. We check fingerprints and then send them into the game, John. We're very, very official.
Well, Josh, if there's anybody that doesn't need that, it's me, but no, I'm just kidding, of course. But yes, Mr. Carter is a seasoned official.
Oh yes, he's very good. This one unfortunately gets away from Uniontown, even though EF had to play that one off the ceiling. And again, Johnston doing a good job at tracking the ball, even as it came down between the tile that hang from the ceiling.
When it comes off the ceiling and you still score, I guess things are going pretty right for you, right?
I would say so. Here's the serve from Wack. It's a good one off the fingertips of Maria Capon, and now set 1 is 20-11, and here is that second Uniontown timeout. You do get 2%, and the Lady Raiders have now used their second of 2. Windows, Doors, and More Incorporated, located in Uniontown, your one-stop shop for mobile, home, and residential windows and doors. Family owned and operated for over 27 years. Contact them at 724-430-7470, or you can find them on Facebook. That's Windows, Doors, and More Incorporated. We certainly want to thank them for their support of our Uniontown Area High School volleyball boosters. We also want to recognize Mamaruka's Pizza, located just around the corner at 64 Barton Mill Road in Uniontown, 724-438-9066. Visit mamarukaspizza.com for menus and live event schedules. Mamaruka's family-friendly indoor and outdoor seating, live music, catering services too, John. Might have to pick up a pizza on the way home.
Well, I have been known to belong to pizza, but we'll see. Mamaruka's is a great place to go, and they do put a lot of sports on. And thank you for their generous support of Uniontown Athletics.
Absolutely. Serve on the way from Wack, first touch from Dennis, and then a set attempt from Dunlap's going to drop between Badinsky and Butler. 21-11 now your score here in set number 1.
Now, of course, Josh, you never want to just lose a set, but if we're getting to this point, I assume, and I can't speak for the coach, but you want to tell the girls, okay, that's it. It doesn't matter if we lose 25-11 or 26-24 in a tiebreaker. It's still one set, is my point.
Right.
So
plenty of time.
Yeah, you can't.
As many point out, volleyball, not unlike baseball, softball, and a few other sports, untimed, even into the modern day. So you were never bound by time. You were bound really only by your remaining opportunities. And in volleyball, you get to create opportunities for yourself, and you can really just keep creating them if you get on a roll.
Now, in our time, Josh, I think they had changed the scoring to rally scoring, but before you and I got to, I think they just changed it when we were in high school. You had to serve to score points.
Correct.
And it was 15. So a little bit different here. Now, I don't know, I will admit, I'm not sure with the JVs, but with varsity, if you're in the final set, if it has to go 5, it's 15 points.
Good work in the middle for EF. That was Treese again, who has really dominated when given the opportunity up front, 22-12. This EF JV team, mostly freshmen, with a few sophomores sprinkled in.
Well, I guess that's that point, Josh. And I don't want to go about all the cliches, but these girls stick with the program. That could be tough down the road.
Dirk will send over the free ball. Here's Johnson. And the set is a good one coming from number 5, Emma Dyer. And the Lady Raiders not able to return it.
Well, Taylor Dennis, Josh, did do a good job for Uniontown trying to keep that ball alive. Just unfortunately,
she chased it a long way.
And I mean, those things do matter. Coaches look at that stuff, of course, all the time.
Good effort from Dennis. 23-12. This one catches the net. And Uniontown not done yet. They trail by 10. And it's going to be Addison Girk as Rhiannon Feather subs in.
As we said, Josh, no time here, so you never know. You can chip away at 10.
Girk's serve is a good one, and she nearly has one pass through the basket. The basket raised off the gym floor, of course, but off the first touch, that ball goes off the backboard, and EF not able to track it in time. So 23-14, Addison Girk. Right back at it. Here's the serve. Passed ahead. And now we're going to see a free ball coming out of the back row. That was Versick. And unfortunately, Uniontown gets a touch before that one goes out of play. And EF needs just one more. They lead 24-14.
Yes, Josh, and kind of Uniontown now down to the set point here. So hopefully that, and I mean, they're going to have to stave a lot off, but you can't do them all just in one. You're going to play it point by point here.
Addison Sumarachek, here it is. Good first touch by Burnworth. Feather moves it up, and Dunlap moves it over. EF going to set up again. They want to go to number 4, Kamick. Uniontown's ready. Over and 2 this time. Johnston going to move it to Dyer. They want to go to Kamick again. Uniontown will once again deny. And now Dunlap nearly able to drop one in. Johnston has to scramble to send over a free ball. Burnworth will see the overpass knocked back down. And a great touch, Rhiannon Feather. And Rhiannon says we're not done yet. In fact, we're just getting started. It's 24-15. And a great sequence there, John, for the Lady Raiders.
Yes, and just Josh, like you were saying, just gotta keep playing. You're never out of it. I don't want to do my Yogi Bear over there talking baseball. It ain't over till it's over. But God, I'm dating myself. And that's Uniontown though has just lost a couple points, Josh. So you know things can get tighter the closer it gets. But like
great serve there by Chloe Burnworth.
Yes, and like we said. No time to stall, as they say. They're going to have to at least put it 1 point away.
This serve will unfortunately catch the net right ahead of the up official, Cassidy Van Sickle, and that will do it for set number 1, 25-16. Thank you for checking us out on UHS Talk. Joshua Scully with you alongside Jonathan Guth from the Uniontown Herald-Standard. Later for varsity, we will also be joined by Stephen Oberle from Carlow University. Stephen, the former athletic director at Penn State Fayette and one of the coaches for Penn West Hockey. That's the former California University of Pennsylvania, now Penn West, California. He was a former California University hockey player, actually won a state championship. He was a starting defenseman for the team, now is back as a coach and is enjoying a new opportunity at Carlow University, so we're excited to have him on later in this broadcast. He's, of course, not unlike us, John, also a Uniontown man, graduated here in 07. Windows, Doors, and More Incorporated, located in Uniontown, your one-stop shop for mobile home and residential windows and doors. Family owned and operated for over 27 years. Contact them at 724-430-7470 or find them on Facebook, Windows, Doors, and More. Mamaruka's Pizza, located at 64 Barton Mill Road in Uniontown, PA. Call 724-438-9066 or visit mamarukaspizza.com for menus and live event schedules, family-friendly indoor and outdoor dining, live music, and catering services available at Mamaruka's. And of course, John, Mamaruka's truly just around the corner, down the street. If you turn onto Grant, leaving the high school, you go over the tracks, Mamaruka's right there.
Yes, and when you are there, they have the sports on, and of course they're athletic family. So, and they even have these. Now I'm not sure if they do it as much now, but they have some of the high school games on streaming, and it was always a nice time to see that. And I think this is nice because I mean, who doesn't want to see themselves on video, whatever it is, whether it's computer, YouTube, and I think that's nice.
This is the style of the future, John.
But I can sit. I watch many of a football game on my computer, and sometimes at work it helps out. If I can't get to a certain game, you can always watch it. So I think this is good, and especially for these kids here to just be on and have the opportunity to see others watch them. It's always nice. Back in our day, Josh, they didn't have too many events on TV, except they did have a wrestling match on. And when they had the wrestling match on, Josh, I know I'm talking about myself, but it was very exciting, is my point, and everybody was like, man, that Jonathan Goose pumped up, and I was just happy to be on TV, Josh. So,
we all are, John.
Yeah, so I'll leave you to go. You are the talent here. I am just filling in.
Emma Dyer will start us off for EF with the first serve. Uniontown has not yet broken the huddle. Just as a reminder, we are actively looking for students at Uniontown Area High School who would like to help with these broadcasts. We have multiple positions, multiple roles, if you will, that students could fill, and it would be a wonderful opportunity, especially if you are considering this line of work or even participating in this sort of work at the college level. Once a college student, maybe find your way into a media department, find your way onto campus radio. This is a great opportunity to get some of that experience. First set went to EF by a score of 25-16. John, obviously we're hoping the Lady Raiders bounce back out in a big way.
Now, I mentioned this to you, Josh. I just was curious if in a JV match, if it goes to a third set, which would be a third and final to break the best of three, do they play 15?
They do.
So the rally scoring would still be in effect, but it's 15. Just want to clarify that because obviously varsities are best of 5. I'm not sure what there's conference, but I guess maybe just as a coach, Josh, as a former coach, you could maybe explain this to me. Is it just where the players are, formations? Looks like Mr. Carter was
right. He is confirming the starting players are in their correct position by order on the lineup card. So they need to be standing in a particular spot on the floor.
I say this with ultimate respect for this sport. I would be lost. I'm lucky I can get out of bed, let alone organize this. It takes a lot just to get started.
And the first serve is across. Uniontown going to have this one escape them, and EF goes up 1. I do want to acknowledge we have a sign over here to the left that says Happy 16th Birthday Court, and that's on the EF side. So I think it's number 17 for EF. Courtney Coates' birthday is this service and service error. So if anyone who knows Courtney is listening, or if Courtney listens later, happy birthday, Courtney. Enjoy your birthday. 16 is a big occasion.
And Courtney, in fairness to the audience, I will at least not say, now Mr. Scully, maybe you could bout out a happy birthday, but I'm not going to let that happen. But we do say happy birthday to Courtney.
Whistle beforehand, and I think we may have someone out of order on the EF side. Indeed, we did. So a point awarded to Uniontown, and the Lady Raiders now hold a 2-1 lead with Rhiannon Feather as the server. Feather looking to expand upon that, we did have a libero change for Uniontown. It is now Kendall Burnworth who is dressed as the libero here in set 2. Pass ahead in the set coming from Dyer. Little tip attempt here coming from Pope, catches the net and falls back on the Lady Warriors. Dressed as libero for set number 2 here for the Lady Warriors, by the way. We have a change on that side as well. It is now number 8, Riley Bursick. 2-2 your score.
Yes, and Feather, right, Josh?
Feather.
Yeah, Feather, like a feather. she was in the first set. I've been trying to do a little bit of the points, Josh. I have, after trying this, attempting this, I have utmost respect for keeping score in volleyball. But Feather had multiple service points, and she's a good server here for Uniontown.
Kendall Burnworth is going to attack from the back row and drop one in the lefty.
We got the Lady Raiders now ahead, and just keep building, and you got to try to put a string together of points. That's the key in this sport. I mean, I don't know too many matches that I've seen that ever was just like. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but 1 point. It's
right.
It kind of goes in cycles, and. So that's a big point here. Nice serve there.
Dyer's going to back set to number 14. That's Bubat. And that one's able to drop in to tie up set 2. Good look there by EF. The back set to the right side and good contact.
Well, Kendall sacrificed her body, and that gym floor is not, it's a little bit unforgiving.
It certainly can be.
But we give her props for laying out for it.
Line judges here as Pope serves. Addison Majoris and Kamari Scott, 2 Uniontown varsity players. We are very excited to see as this hit for Uniontown goes long and gives the Lady Warriors the lead. Majoris and Scott both play back row for the varsity squad and are both very talented.
And younger players.
Yes, they are sophomores.
And really, you look to the future. I mean, you care about of course you care about the present, but it's nice to have some younger players that are varsity.
Absolutely, we pointed that out for EF. Granted, this is JV, but it's nice to see a JV team that is predominantly freshmen. Certainly, some freshmen on the Uniontown side as well. Katie White, good serve here. This one nearly drops in. It's going to be Gert to White, and now the swing coming from Jensen all the way on our side, covered up by EF. And this one is going to drop in on the Lady Raiders after an initial touch. That was right at the net, and EF goes ahead 5-4.
You mentioned we were talking about the younger players being involved in sport, Josh, and I believe throughout my career there has been many more younger freshmen on boys and girls. Starting varsity, it seems like, I don't know if kids are developing more, and then I look at these kids, and I'm like, wow, I never realized a 14-year-old could be that big. And I mean that with respect, but they're built, they got
absolutely
adult bodies already, and I guess that's a little bit of an attribute to the science, and I mean, kids are training now a lot younger than they used to, and getting involved more at a, I don't. In our day, Josh, we just go out and play ball, but now it's a little bit more structured, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Walk about to serve after a good swing from Treese.
And Treese was another player that in the first set did a good job.
And this one is going to be played low by the Lady Raiders, and they are not quite able to save it. And John, at any point as this set progresses that you might want to break down some statistics, please feel free to jump in with that. I know you had talked about compiling some. If you have any to offer, please do.
Well, I will say, Josh, I probably will just offer who has been in the action, because
and there's a big one for Maria Capon. Through the block, Treese was there, and that one goes off her hands and drops in. Nobody was there to cover, and Uniontown is back within one.
And for some reason, trying to do color, Josh, and take the stats is a little bit more challenging than I thought.
It can be. It definitely can be.
But right now, I mean, I mentioned the Elizabeth Ford, number 18. I'm trying to find her name here.
Hannah Treese, the freshman.
She was involved in attacks and really involved in the first set. I mean, this is obviously unofficial, but I had her for 3 kills. So one player really stepping up. Excuse me. As EF takes an 8-6 lead. And Uniontown, we have Addison Gark. She had some kills and good play there. So, I mean, there's obviously a lot more ways that we're contributing, but just a couple that stood out in the first set for me.
Here's Dyer with the set to the middle. That's Pope with the tip, and Pope has one roll over the tape and drop in, but she's also in the net. So that one is going to go to the Lady Raiders. A nice break as we see Butler and Belt checking in
that was,
for Uniontown.
What I guess we would call an error, correct?
Yes.
And I'm not pointing that out to say somebody made a mistake. I'm just pointing to the volleyball jargon, I guess.
Terminology, right.
Terminology. I'm surprised he's still allowed to be called a kill. And as I'm writing this, I'm giving another school, but I have to give out a shout out to Skyward Gates of Brownsville. 1,000 kills in her career. So I'm writing this, Josh, and I'm like, 1,000 kills for Gates. Well, Gates had 1,000 kills, and you know. But
really impressive play.
Yes.
And how did that go, John? You covered Brownsville and Waynesburg.
Waynesburg won that match 3-0. The first and third sets were very close. The second, Waynesburg kind of took it to them. But Waynesburg definitely, you can see they have a solid squad. A lot of seniors. Brownsville, even with Gates, they only have 2 seniors. So they're a younger team, but they are coming. But right at that night, looks like Waynesburg could be one of the top teams in AA. And Uniontown wasn't AA previously for volleyball. Now in triple, you know, bigger schools, obviously more kids. You can kind of see the differences. It is a challenge in AAA.
Great effort there for Uniontown in that sequence by Kendall Burnworth and Paige Butler, both of whom nearly had that swing back toward Uniontown. Here's a pass attempt from Burnworth, right at the net, knocked back down. A push going to come from Belt. Now Dyer goes to Pope, and they move it back our way to Bubash. Burnworth covers that one up. Here's Butler to Feather, hitting from the right side. A good-looking swing, and EF sends back a free ball. 10-7 your score, by the way. EF leads by 3. Here's Belt, another push, looking for a spot. Dyer to Pope. Pope a quick one over, and sending it over in 2 turns out to be a wise move as this one drops in, and we're going to see Coach Spear take a timeout. 11-7 here in set 2. EF had won the first set 25-16, and of course, if they win this one, John, they're going to ultimately win this match. That would give them 2, and best out of 3, you need the 2 wins. Windows, Doors, and More Incorporated, located at Uniontown, your one-stop shop for mobile home and residential windows and doors. Family-owned and operated for over 27 years. Contact them at 724-430-7470 or find them on Facebook. Also, we'd like to thank Mom Maruka's Pizza, located at 64 Barton Mill Road in Uniontown, PA, 724-438-9066. Visit MomMarukasPizza.com for menus and live event schedules. Mom Maruka's Pizza, family-friendly, indoor and outdoor dining, live music and catering services. And John, the taco pizza at Mom Maruka's cannot be beat. Best taco pizza in town.
Well, I get the fries, Josh. I like those home-cut fries with the cheese on them.
Belt gets the first touch to Burnworth. Burnworth launches one across the court, and Feather sends over the free ball. Now loading back up this way, Samarachek. No, check that. Bubash with a push. Belt takes a swing, hits this one wide, and EF goes ahead 12-7.
And we're at that 5-point swing, and I just think that's a number that, I'm not saying it's doomed if you're down by 5, but you start getting closer to the double digits, and a deficit of double digits, you start to sweat a little bit.
Beautiful pass by Chloe Burnworth to Butler, a push by Belt. Belt's looking for a spot in the middle. EF just got there in time. First touch, Butler to Kendall Burnworth. Now a push coming from Feather. Under that one is Pope. She goes to Dyer. They move it back outside. A good-looking swing from Samarachek. Butler going to come this way to Belt, and Belt hits one off the tape and gets that one to stick.
Isaiah Belt, Josh?
Yes.
I've noticed here, maybe it's just because she's close to me and my wonderful vision can see it, but she's done a lot of good hits here. Hasn't been able to convert yet. EF's done a good job of returning those attempts, but she gets a kill there, so good job for Belt.
Feather on the serve. Here's Dyer going to set up a back row attack, and it's a pretty strong one from Addison Walk. And we had a touch, and this one hits the floor, and it's going to go to EF 13-8. Again, Joshua Scully here with you tonight on UHS Talk alongside Jonathan Guth from the Uniontown Herald Standard. And stepping back to serve here will be the libero in set 2 for EF. That's Riley Bursick. Played off the floor by Sophia Capon, a touch by Jensen, and then sent over by the lefty, Kendall Burnworth. So a good-looking effort there by Capon, and Jensen puts it perfectly for the lefty Burnworth to smack it over. And John, anyone, and I'm sure some folks who are listening have volleyball experience and can appreciate what a lefty brings to the table. Love to see the kill from the lefty, especially out of the back row.
And this libero, Josh, it's a defensive specialist, correct?
Yes.
And they can always stay on the court?
They cannot always stay on the court per se because they cannot rotate, as this one beats a diving EF player on our left side. They are not allowed to move to the front row, so they do have to sub out when their rotation spot would move them to the front, but they are allowed to sub right back in, and it's a free substitution. It does not count toward your substitutions for the match.
Well,
which can be valuable.
I'm sure a lot of people listening and watching are saying this Guth guy is stupid, and I could be. But this, I'm telling you, this sport and this rotation, that's enough, Josh. Maybe I just didn't learn enough in school. No offense to the Uniontown educational system, but how just curious, how long did that take you to get started, or to get?
John, I was very fortunate in that I started coaching at the middle school level first, where folks like Mr. Carter, who's explaining a rotation situation right now, the officials are very graceful at that level. And they really help you learn the rules slowly and help you teach the players. As Burnworth sends this one wide, you learn the rules in a more constructive environment where the competition is meant to be, let's say, secondary to the educational aspect of the game. And as a coach, starting at that level, it helps a great deal.
Well, thank you, and that is good, and I'm glad. And it's 14-10, by the way. Yes, I don't want to digress and get on. And they just scored again. Uniontown doesn't want to. I know I keep saying this, but don't want to get into that situation where you're behind by more than 5. But yeah, it's to learn a lot of this and to get it. You know, you got to give the coaches and players credit. I mean, you just got to learn that stuff before you can even play. So. And there was an error there on the serve by EF. Uniontown gets it back down 4 at 15-11. They are down 1-0 in the best of 3. So obviously key to come back and get this set victory here, Josh. We'd like to see the JV get a win here. The last time I was with you, unfortunately, they were not able to. So that was against Albergata. So hopefully they can do that today.
Good serve here, and EF working hard. They will not get it.
Another point for Uniontown.
Great serve by Katie White.
Yeah, Katie White, and did you say she is her sister?
Lauren White.
Yes. We got a lot of sister combinations.
Yes, quite a bit of family on the team, but that's a good thing. Yeah. Serve is going to go to the end line. Touch there, and moved up. This is going to be number 18, Treese, with the push, who's been very good tonight, by the way. White sets up Capon. Capon, unfortunately, not able to get this one over, but it looked good. No, they're going to say a player in the net, and that one will go to Uniontown, John. 15-13. Love to see the elevation out of Maria Capon there. Capon came way off the floor, had a very strong position, even though Treese is ready with the block in the middle on the opposite side. Capon had great positioning there. And now the Uniontown Lady Raiders informed that they will indeed pick up that point, 15-13.
A little bit of a delayed celebration. I was lost, not the first time. Nice serve here.
This one just out.
I thought it was good, Josh, but my vision is not. I wear these glasses for a reason.
Well, that's why we have the line judges who have done a great job for us tonight.
These are girls that play in the varsity, so they're taking their time to help out. So, kudos to them.
Service there against EF here. Now it's just 2 again separating these teams, 16-14.
This is a point, I don't want to say EF is struggling, but it's a point where Uniontown, I think, is building some momentum. And hey, everybody, I don't care who you are, you could be a 10-year veteran at a professional level, you're gonna feel pressure when it's getting close.
Jensen with the serve. This is a good one. She drops it back corner pocket. EF's going to send across the free ball from Dyer. Now here's the set. Katie White wants to go to Capon. Good looking swing, and that one is going to be called out. Just out.
Now that was a situation, Josh, that when it was hit over there the first time, EF player, I'm sorry, I didn't see who got that, but she went a long way to save that ball. So my point is, good hustle on their part, and I really thought Uniontown with that free ball could have set something up, but just a little bit too long on that attempt of the kill.
Uniontown keeping it close, 17-14 in favor of the Lady Warriors. Treese will serve, and here is that serve. On its way just over the tape, a diving Kendall Burnworth gets under it, but she sends it across and out of play, and now we'll see a timeout taken by Coach Spear as he trails by 4. A very good timeout, 18-14. Keep in mind, if you will, join us for the varsity match following this match. We take about a 20-minute break. We will mute the broadcast, but then we'll come back just before the start of the varsity match. You'll get to hear the pregame, the PA will do the lineups, and we'll hear the national anthem, and then we'll move right into a very important varsity match, by the way, between 2 teams that we discussed earlier, John, both looking to stay with the pack, so to speak, and the loser of that varsity match is going to start to fall that much more behind.
Because I think you had mentioned this, Josh, Elizabeth Ford won the last match against Abergallican 3-2 score. So if we're looking on paper, this is a good matchup for Uniontown, but it is not decided on paper, so there you go. But I'm just saying that this could be one, but EF is, if a win tonight, EF will kind of be back in it.
This one very close, just missing the end line. Addison Majoris, our line judge, doing a good job there, and Coach Spear confirming that it landed right in front of him. 18-15. These teams, by the way, at the varsity level last year split their matches. EF beat Uniontown in Elizabeth, and then Uniontown beat the Lady Warriors here. And this is going to be a violation out of rotation. And this is not the first time EF has struggled with their rotation tonight. So an opportunity here for Uniontown to build upon that as Maria Capon will continue to serve. And right now, Mr. Carter, Tony Carter, our down official, sort of reorganizing this EF team, getting everyone where they need to be. Good front row right now for EF. Courtney Punk alongside number 9, Addison Samarachek. Both have been strong here in set 2. Pass goes across the net. Uniontown ships it right back. Here's Samarachek, free ball. Pass comes from Maria Capon, the set from Katie White. Coming outside to Rhiannon Feather. Feather, a good swing, free ball comes back. Capon right at the net, and Katie White able to save that, and Dunlap gets it over now. EF trying to make something happen. They settle for a push. Almost 2 passers there as Katie White moves it to Rhiannon Feather again. Feather looking for a spot and is going to have this one go in. Nearly on the sideline. Coming back the other way near the score table. Both teams really want this point. Here's Dyer setting up. Middle, Pope trying to land one down. Katie White says set is out. Back to the middle. Dunlap with the push. Retreating. EF set from Dyer. Now to Samarachek. Going to be a free ball again. Feather on the floor. And not quite able to save that one, 19-16 after a great sequence, John.
Take a breath, Mr. Scully. 19-16, great rallies by both teams. Uniontown just couldn't quite get there. Dunlap, I know I love to shout out my other sports, but freshman but incoming softball player and her sister Sequoia is playing at Robert Morris.
Yes.
So that softball team, I never got a couple of months, but
going to be very good. This one comes to John. John is not legally allowed to pass that, though. Not in set 2, at least. Maybe John's allowed to help in set 3 if we get there. 20-16 in favor of the Lady Warriors.
Well, they couldn't. I am a alumni, but I don't know if I could help them on this part of it, Josh. My skills are not what they used to be.
And the Lady Warriors have one dropped in near the sideline. Good read there by Samarachek. 21-16. The Lady Warriors are looking for 4 as we approach the top of the hour.
Yeah, we want Uniontown definitely wants to. They're unfortunately another serve there couldn't control, and I know keep saying this, but you're getting closer now. They're 3 points away, so gonna have to get this back for Uniontown back serving. Key point here.
Emma Dyer, the freshman, sends this one over. Good first touch by Girk to Feather, and it's a free ball from Dunlap. Watt going to move it to Dyer. Back set. Swing coming on the right side from Bubash. Uniontown is there. Dunlap gets the first touch, but they can't save it despite a diving effort from Katie White. And now the Lady Warriors are looking for 2.
Well, it's still, Josh, it's still not yet there. I mean, but getting a little bit by.
And Kendall Burnworth hits this one off her left wrist and unfortunately out of play.
Now, I think, Josh, you probably mentioned this before, but for those just joining or not familiar with the sport, you have to win by 2. So if Uniontown would come back and get to 24, they would be able to, EF would have to win another point.
Girk has this one get away off the serve by Dyer, and EF is going to win set 2, 25-16. 2 sets to none victory for the Lady Warriors, John.
Yes, they definitely look good, and these freshman girls. I mean, you never know who's going to play next year, but I mean, they can improve. Could be another tough opponent, but this section's pretty stacked, section 3, and I think TJ is probably the favorite. I think it's one of those teams where, let's say, you got to beat them to prove that they're not. But they still play Laurel Highlands, and Laurel Highlands is looking at the page, gentleman by the name of Ken Wanderley, Post-Gazette writer. He's also a wrestling writer. He has some interesting sports he does. He goes from volleyball to wrestling. But anyway, and then guys volleyball in the spring, which we don't have too many in Fayette County. But I was just going to say that Laurel Highlands and TJ in the varsity are both undefeated. So those two teams look like they're on a collision course. And that may even be tonight.
That is tonight, as a matter of fact. I want to break that down a little more when we come back for varsity. We will take a break. We are expecting the varsity match to begin around 7:15 p.m. tonight. We will probably bring the broadcast back online at 7:10. So we will be muted. You will continue to see the teams warm up, of course, but you will not hear any sound until about 7:10 or maybe shortly thereafter. We're anticipating a 7:15 p.m. start tonight for varsity. The Uniontown Red Raiders and the Elizabeth Forward Warriors here on UHS Talk. We'll be right back in 20 minutes. Thank you. Welcome back to A.J. Everhart Memorial Gymnasium. Just a quick note, there is remaining about 17 minutes on the countdown to varsity. So we're expecting a varsity start between 7:15 and 7:20 p.m. We will resume the broadcast at that time. Thank you.
that with this sport.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A.J. Everhart Memorial Gymnasium. The Lady Warriors are in town from Elizabeth to take on the Lady Raiders of Uniontown. We will be starting in just a moment. We're going to mute ourselves again as the teams finish their warm-up, and we will unmute for the pregame activity and the national anthem. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to the Uniontown A.J. Everhart Gymnasium for tonight's match between Elizabeth Forward and your Uniontown Lady Raiders. Your paid admission to this event entitles you to enjoy an exhibition of skills developed by student athletes in an educational setting. By meeting the challenge of sportsmanship in the stands, you are providing a sound example for students as well as representing your community and school with dignity and pride. Please give the student athletes your positive encouragement and support. Any unruly behaviors, sexist, racial, or ethnic comments, abusive or foul language, or taunting of players, coaches, or officials will not be tolerated and could lead to your removal from this event. Thank you for your cooperation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. And now for tonight's starting lineups. The visiting team this evening is the Elizabeth Forward Warriors, led by head coach Kelly Weir and assistant coach Sarah Johnson. Number 23, Meadow Watton. Number 1, Kaylin Settles. Number 13, Grace Leonard. Number 11, Tori Bickerton. Number 16, Charlie Schertz. Number 7, Olivia Rakunas. Number 6, Marley Johnston. And number 3, Addison Walk. And now for your Uniontown Lady Raiders, led by head coach Paulina Nottingham and assistant coach Ricky Spear. Freshman number 2, Hallie Campbell. Senior number 9, Maggie Campbell. Junior number 10, Ava Livengood. Sophomore number 14, Addison Majoros. Sophomore number 16, Kathlena Orendorf. Sophomore number 18, Jocelyn Pindrock. And junior number 20, Emma Latznick. Your officials for this evening are Miss Cassidy Van Sickle and Mr. Tony Carter. Good luck to both teams.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A.J. Everhart Memorial Gymnasium. It is Whippeal Volleyball tonight from Uniontown Area High School. The Uniontown Lady Raiders enter the contest 1-3, 4-3 overall. Elizabeth Ford 1-3, 1-6 overall. Both teams looking for a needed win tonight to stay with the pack in Section 3, 3A. Uniontown will operate on the right-hand side of your screen. They are dressed in their home whites, maroon number, and trim. For Elizabeth Ford, the Lady Warriors are in a red uniform tonight, white number, black trim. Hello again, and thank you for joining us on UHS Talk. Joshua Scully with you tonight, and I am joined by Stephen Oberle from Carlow University and Jonathan Guth from the Uniontown Herald-Standard. John was with us for JV. Stephen is just joining us. Stephen is a Uniontown graduate, class of 07, Stephen, if that's correct.
That's correct. Yes.
Thank you for being with us tonight.
Appreciate having me.
Josh, we're the old guys in the group. I guess we better get used to that.
John, I'm getting younger.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. My apologies. But and for a good match, Stephen, welcome. And you know, this Uniontown squad is needing to win, but of course so is EF. And I mean, the winner here is right in that spot to get the fourth and final class by Section 3. Here comes the first serve.
And it's going to be an ace for Emma Latznick, who has one skip off a Lady Warrior hand. And the Lady Raiders are in front now, 1-0. Uniontown, of course, plenty of volleyball this week. They played Monday evening, took on Turkey Foot Valley. Here's Latznick, serve on the way. This one's going to be played. And it's a set outside shot here by number 7. That's Olivia Rakunas. And that one drops in, and we're even at 1. Uniontown also took on their rival, the Laurel Highlands Lady Mustangs, Tuesday night. Uniontown prevailed against the Lady Rams, came up short against Laurel Highlands, entered this one 4-3 overall, 1-3 in the section. Elizabeth Ford also 1-3 in the section. But Steve, and you'll appreciate this, EF, their one win against the Lady Colonials earlier this week, a team that Uniontown had beat earlier this season, 3-0. The Lady Warriors had to go the distance. Outside hit this time for EF by number 11, Tori Bickerton. Sometimes, as Uniontown gets that one to stick, when you see those mutual opponents, it does start to tell you a little something about what you can expect.
Absolutely. You're starting to size up your opponent then at that point. And the Lady Red Raiders, all they just need to do is get a nice win, right? Just establish some footing here, come out strong as they did, and here we go. We had another point.
Hallie Campbell picks up the ace off of EF. An effort there by number 11. That was Tori Bickerton, who got a wrist on the volleyball but could do no more. Hallie Campbell, of course, on the floor now with her sister, Maggie Campbell, who's operating in the front row. Hallie and Maggie both very good. Here's the serve. This one is long. And number 11, Kaylin Settles, will spin and watch that one go out of play. 3-2. Elizabeth Ford had not won a set this month until they beat the Lady Colonials Tuesday night. 3-2. Serve on the way, Meadow Watton. That one gets away from the Lady Raiders, and this one will be tied at 3. Earlier tonight, our JV matchup saw the Lady Warriors win in 2 sets, 25-16, both sets. A few JV players, Paige Butler and Sincere Dunlap, currently operating as the line judges. Here's the serve. And that one is wisely played by Emma Latznick, who turns and watches as it goes out of play, and libero Addison Majoris will step out for head coach Paulina Nottingham. Nottingham in her first season with the Lady Raiders. Uniontown, of course, coming into this one looking for a big section win, and that's an ace from Ava Livengood. 5-3 is your score. And Steve, so far so good for Uniontown. A good start, especially with JV not quite going the way they wanted.
Yeah, they're just settling in now at this point, Josh. You know, we'll see as this plays out, but you know, a couple hesitations, right? Let's get a good serve here and then see how the ball plays out.
This one played right at the net and out of play. By the way, our officials tonight are Mr. Tony Carter and Miss Cassidy Vansickle, two very, very good volleyball officials who have been around the game for a long time. Ava Livengood, one of the 2 Livengoods on this varsity Uniontown roster, will step up and serve this one. It's a good one deep, going to be played by Watton, and the set comes via Leonard, number 13, and this one will unfortunately get away from Uniontown, off a hand and out of play across the sideline near the spectators here to our right. A serve opportunity now for number 7. This is Olivia Rakunas, a sophomore for Elizabeth Ford. Rakunas sees her team trail by 2. The serve goes into the net, and now it's 3. And Steve, and these pivotal matchups. It's early in the season, but both of these teams need a win tonight. You hate to give away 3 points.
That's right, and this serve is pivotal. I think that's the key word there, and so we'll see how it plays out. But you want to capitalize on this moment now.
Maggie Campbell will step into this one, sends it on its way. First touch going to be from Settles, and they go way to the right side, nearly out of play there. Tori Bickerton almost caught Tony Carter in the head with that, but thankfully no one is harmed, and the point goes to the Lady Raiders.
Guys, I just wanted to say there's a student section there. I don't know if that's a lot of the football players, but good to see those guys out there cheering on their classmates.
Football team in action tomorrow night. They travel to York Run to take on the Albert Gallatin Colonials. This one just rolls across the tape from Bickerton. Coming back the other way. They want to reload, go right side. Number 13, Leonard, takes the swing this time and drops one in. Well played there by EF. Very good effort. And we see Marley Johnston, who was the libero for the JV team in set 1 for EF. She is just a freshman. She is dressed as the libero again. This serve goes into the net. The libero for EF wears black. On the Uniontown side, it's maroon. And Steve, as I'm sure you know, Steve, by the way, former athletic director at Penn State Fayette, has been around volleyball certainly in that capacity for many years. A good libero, worth their weight in gold.
My goodness, absolutely. They make such a difference to the game, especially when you slot them in with the right matchups. It really carries your team.
Uniontown has several different players they have used in that role this year, all of them quite good. Here's Hallie Campbell. A little tip, covered up well by EF. Now the set at the net, and Settles just barely able to beat Majoris to her right. And we go 9-6 here in set 1. Assistant coach Spear off the bench, offering some encouragement. Had a chance to talk with Coach Spear between the JV and the varsity matchups, and Ricky Spear helping out this Uniontown program. Pretty pleased with how practice went this week. He's hoping that communicates itself as the win tonight. This tip does not quite clear the net. Good look there for Uniontown. Everyone was in the right place, just could not quite get the volleyball across. And it's 9-7 with the senior, Kaylin Settles, continuing to serve. Number 1 lays into it, strong right hand. Majoris pass to Campbell, set going to come our way. Hallie Campbell nearly drops this one in. EF able to cover it up, coming back the other way. 16 with the swing, and this one is in. Charlie Schertz able to drop one in. It's 9-8. And Steve, coming into this match, we talked a little bit about the mutual opponent, Albert Gallatin, who both of these teams have beat. Obviously, they're going to see several mutual opponents playing in Section 3, 3A. Both having beat the Lady Colonials, though, both matches pretty good. It would be fun tonight to see this one go the distance. Maybe each team picks up a set or two. Obviously, we want the Raiders to win. But now that we're tied, you do get the sense these teams pretty evenly matched so far.
Absolutely, and it's our fans that are going to get the money tonight. I think we're going to go to distance. It feels like we're swinging back and forth. We're dropping it in. We have a few errors here and there. But I just think once the teams clean up their play in this first set, we might see that change. We might see then a more dominant game from either way.
Good serve there by Settles. Majoris had slid forward to try to make a play on it. Could not quite get the spot she wanted. Here's Settles again. This one is crushed out of play, nearly hits the line judge. And so we're tied at 10 here in set 1. And the very talented Ava Livengood steps back onto the court. Livengood, of course, in the front row is dominant. Does play some back row, too. Really strong in both places. Here's Lena Orndorff with the serve. This one, a good one, going to be played by Settles, and that one's out of play. Johnston and Settles, a bit of miscommunication for the Lady Warriors. And, of course, too, Steve, I want to mention this now because I don't want to forget. We're all Uniontown guys here. We've got some Uniontown alumni.
Right.
Three-headed monster here, John Guth, Steve Oberle, and Joshua Scully, all former Red Raiders, absolutely. But growing up in Uniontown, you're familiar with Elizabeth because everybody knows the Elizabeth Bridge. You couldn't drive to Pittsburgh without the Elizabeth Bridge being sort of a mile marker as Uniontown picks up a big point and goes ahead 12-10.
It's a landmarker for travel.
It definitely is.
The bridge was having a lot of work done, Josh. Made my drive the bird a little bit, whatever. I'm nervous enough.
Never fun when you have construction in Elizabeth. Makes the trip to Pittsburgh that much more difficult. Good swing here. by Charlie Schertz. Schertz, the sophomore. EF, by the way, under the direction of head coach Kelly Weir, assistant coaches Emma Miller, Kendall Fisher, and Sarah Johnson. Good effort from the JV for Elizabeth Ford tonight. Serve going to come this time from number 13, Grace Leonard. Right at the net, Livingood flushes one off the floor, and Elizabeth Ford had not had a chance to see the fastball yet, and they're wondering, was that four-seam or two?
Josh, this is the moment now. Uniontown's got to really capture the energy they just gained from really the arena. You heard the crowd off that, right? Now's the moment.
That serve, a good one, coming from Emma Latsnick. And Latsnick gets the first touch here. Pass goes to the net, send it over in two. We call that the Maggie Campbell special. Campbell now going to set up back set. Ava Livingood trying to tip this one over, and it goes down, and Livingood strikes again, this time off a touch. Elizabeth Ford will want to find a solution for Ava if they do not want to be terrorized tonight, because Ava Livingood certainly will terrorize you at the net if you let it happen. This serve going to catch the net. Uniontown has recaptured the lead, though, 14-12 as it stands at present. We thank you again for checking us out on UHS Talk. We are looking for student volunteers to help with these broadcasts in the future. Just about any role you could imagine can be filled. Latsnick has this one go off her upper arm and out of play. Otherwise, she was in a good spot there, 14-13. And Steve, this match, again, we are only in September, and someone's going to come away from this match 1-4 in the section.
Yeah, not a good place you want to be in, Josh.
Right. That's a tough spot as this one is tipped over by Meadow Watton. Watton, a senior for this team, wears number 23, brings some height. She may be the tallest player on this Lady Warriors roster. Tied at 14. This one as good as expected. Serve to Majoris, good-looking pass. Campbell, quick one over. Going to be played there by Schertz, and EF cannot get to it. Diving into the bleachers, number 11, Tori Bickerton, came up just short. Coach Nottingham seemed pleased with that. As Hallie Campbell drops back to serve. 15-14 now here in set one. We are playing best out of 5. Hallie Campbell sends this one over. This one goes off the hand and out of play. And Campbell picks up the ace, beating a diving Bickerton to her right. More good things here for the Lady Raiders. They have served well tonight. That's a very important part of this game, of course. John, you and I talked about that during JV, how difficult it can be when you're not ready to receive the serve effectively. It creates a long night for that team.
Absolutely, Josh. And Hallie Campbell with 2 aces already.
Great work from her. Great work from Pindrock right at the net to Livingood. And that is in corner pocket. Somebody re-racked the balls. Ava Livingood is here to play tonight. It's 17-14. And they want to take a timeout and think about that. And if I could, someone asked me earlier during the JV match, did I control the music in the gym? And they wanted to make a request for a warm-up song, and I said, no, unfortunately I don't. But if I did, right now, we would cue up Godzilla by Blue Oyster Cult, because that is the kind of music we want after Livingood thunders down another one against the Lady Warriors. Great start here for Uniontown, 17-14.
Josh, I don't know that music's in times with these kids, but I do.
John, that one is a timeless classic.
I know there's timeless music out there. I am the resident stat guy, and I just listening to the JV match. I appreciate how hard this is to do, and I mean to get everybody involved. I kudos to coaches. I'm glad they do it for media people, because I'd be totally lost. But anyway, Ava Livingood, Josh, 4 attacks, 4 kills. So I was.
I like that percentage, yes, John. Even I can do that percentage.
Well, me too. My math is never quite strong too. And 2 service points for Ava and Emma Lesnick, who in the first match I was with against Albert Gallatin, she did not start, but she came in tonight and has already got 2 service points and an ace. So Emma's coming in and doing a great job.
She has played very well, as has Ava, as has Hallie Campbell. Here's the serve, and that one, though, out of play, so the timeout effective. Stephen, of course, I had mentioned all 3 of us former Uniontown area high school students. When you were here, you played some sports. Tell us a little bit about that experience coming from the perspective of a student athlete.
Yeah, I tell you what, it kind of really shaped the trajectory of my life in a lot of ways. Just being a part of team sports in general, Josh, is so invaluable to the growth and development of young students, right? And so I had the opportunity to play baseball, and for all 4 years of my 4 years in high school, and also opportunity to play ice hockey in an open division for another high school. So just to speak to the organization of sports for students, incredibly important, incredibly valuable.
And Ava Livingood brings everybody to their feet because she is putting on a clinic. Speaking of experience, it's 18 to 16, and probably right now the Lady Warriors take a great big sigh of relief with Livingood moving out of the front row. Here's the serve, played by Johnston. And this one nearly falls in. Watton gives a little touch. It's sent over by number 11, Tori Bickerton. Set comes from Campbell to Orndorff. Orndorff nearly gets one to stick. Settles, little hook shot, denied. Campbell, the quick one. The Maggie Campbell special, by the way, and thank you. And that one is called out, just out by a few inches. I believe so, John.
Okay, well,
So very close. We're talking about maybe 3 or 4 inches.
well, still, she's got a very good percentage, but she was 5 for 5. But still great job by Ava.
Rakunas to serve, and Olivia jumps into this one. Right-handed serve, well played by Latsnick. Campbell going to set up, coming our way outside. The pride of Franklin Elementary, Jocelyn Pindrock, nearly drops one in. This one coming back. Orndorff plays it at the net, and this one is going to fall in despite a wonderful diving effort there by Scott, who pursued that one all the way into the chairs. It's going to be 18-18. And Stephen, as a hockey player in high school, maybe tell us about that experience, because of course we did not have an ice hockey team, and we still have sports to this day that we co-op with, or that we have co-opted with over the years.
Absolutely, yeah. There are unique sports out there that high schools just can't provide operation for or programming for. Ice hockey is unique, and it provides that open division for students that attend schools that don't have that program. They can attend, or they can participate in those high school sports then, as long as their high school does not have that residential sport at their school. So great opportunity to play for Ringgold High School. A lot of the same friends I've made and played with in travel groups all played for that team. So just a great experience, unique experience for sure. And one that I'm very grateful for.
And probably creates some variety in your wardrobe too. It wasn't all maroon and white. You might have actually owned some blue and gold.
That is correct. Oh, yes.
Johnston to serve here in a tie, 19-19. The freshman will take her time and now send one over. And this one's long, and Uniontown is ahead by 1. Coach Nottingham, like that, throws her arms in the air in celebration. And Uniontown's looking for 5, and Jocelyn Pindrock, I would call her, and someone who's listening may really appreciate this, the former Franklin Bulldog, going way back.
I know that.
Jocelyn Pindrock to serve. Here it is. This one going to be played by Johnston, and will EF save it? Yes, they will. Free ball. Pindrock right at the net. This one touched by Settles, and that was Orndorff. Good-looking swing as she fell backward. Now coming back is Schertz, and this one is able to stick off the tape and over top of Maggie. 20-20. Campbell nearly had a fingertip on that. And this one, as advertised, again, both of these teams want to keep pace with the Ringgolds and the Bell Vernons and the Laurel Highlands and Thomas Jefferson. And this one's going to be played by Majoris Hallie Campbell to Campbell. The Campbell to Campbell Law Firm there, going to the middle, a little touch by Watton, and this one is no good. Majoris is there with the push, and no, a player in the net. So close there, Steve. Uniontown nearly caught a break. Now they trail by 1.
And back to our conversation, Josh, it is a back and forth set right now. I imagine we're going to go the distance tonight.
And this one passed by Majoris Campbell. Big set at the net. Watton did not quite get the touch she wanted, and the tape sent it back to her. Now a free ball sent to Lauren White. White to Maggie Campbell. Big set to Hallie. Hallie pounds this one down at Johnston. But Johnston is there, coming back the other way. Right side attack. Grace Leonard, the junior, denied. Now off the net, Majoris looking for a spot. Settles. Good work there to Watton in the middle. Watton. Majoris says no. She digs that one out. Campbell looking for a spot. Keith Johnston with the save to Watton. Free ball. Majoris tees this one up. Campbell
Gonna load up Orndorff. Orndorff gets it to stick, and it's 21 all. And now Orndorff needs 4. Will we see a timeout in the near future? This one drops in perfectly in front of Settles. No signals yet, but I'm wondering if we have one soon coming. 22-21, there it is. Timeout taken by Elizabeth Ford to discuss. We want to thank our sponsors tonight, those businesses who have supported the Uniontown Area High School Volleyball Boosters. Windows, Doors, and More Incorporated, located in Uniontown. Your one-stop shop for mobile home and residential windows and doors. Family owned and operated for over 27 years. Contact them at 724-430-7470, or you can find them on Facebook. Also, we'd like to thank Mom Maruka's Pizza, located at 64 Barton Mill Road in Uniontown, 724-438-9066. You can visit MomMarukasPizza.com for menus and live event schedules. Family-friendly, indoor and outdoor seating, live music and catering. Check out Mom Maruka's. And if the Uniontown Red Raiders win tonight, Steve, John Guth said pizza at Mom Maruka's on him on the way home.
Woo, what a deal. What a deal.
Yes, my salary is very high, so I can do that. But we could be in overtime.
And another big serve from Orndorff as Johnson lunges forward but cannot get the angle she wants. He sends that one into the Warrior crowd to our left, and it's 23-21.
This could go 5, at least 4. And it looks like these games will, if we go any way, these are obviously supposed to be up with the point here.
Watton gets the free ball across, and a diving Lena Orndorff not quite able to get there. Lena came a long way to get a touch. And now, 23-22, you can still win at 25. The serve is going to come from number 13, and it's on its way. That's Leonard. Campbell going to line up Living Good, and Living Good smashes one off a block, but this time EF is ready. Coming back the other way, it's Kurtz. And the sophomore ties it at 23. And Steve, that was really the first time tonight in this set, in this match, that EF was ready for Ava Living Good in the middle.
It seems like they're adjusting. And I think Uniontown needs to take note of that.
Watton gets a touch here to save it, and the ball's going to be a free ball sent by the libero. Libero on this side, Majoris. Here we go to Living Good again, and this one is going to come to me. Out of play.
Josh, I'm glad
Had to catch that one with my clipboard, John.
No, good hands, Josh. I'm glad it came to you or Steve, and
24-23, by the way.
I will want to say, Josh, when they were warming up, I'm going to hit 25-23. As I was running my big mouth talking about myself, I just want to say I was over in warm-ups, writing down the rosters, and the volleyball hit me in the ribs.
John, are you okay?
Yes, I have some pain.
Are you still taking us to Mom Maruka's?
Yes.
I hope you're not going to cite rib injury as to why we don't get to go.
No, I will suck it up. But if we can real quick, Josh, Living Good. I mean, this is definitely unofficial, folks. But I have her with 6 kills, and she had, I believe, 8 attempts. And she has 2 service points. Lena Orndorff with 4 service points. And for Elizabeth Forward, Charlie Schertz has 3 kills. And Settles, Caitlin Settles, Josh, it seemed like she was always serving.
Yes.
I had her with 5 service points. And like I said, folks, these are very unofficial. I'm just getting my feet wet in this. But a good opportunity and a good. We got to get that first set, and I think we could be in for more than 3 tonight. But we'll just see how it goes. We see a lot of close matches that when you go, it's like, oh, you look at it on paper and you're like, oh, it's a sweepless. It was no match. But if it's all 26-24, 25-23,
right.
To me that's close. I mean, you guys can. If I'm full of, you know what, you can tell me, but. but it may look bad on paper, but until you're there, you can realize, oh, this was a close match.
Yeah, truly, that match more or less went the distance, 25-23. Anything beyond that would have required some extra effort from someone to win. Uniontown wins by just 2, but that match was back and forth, and technically the Lady Raiders come from behind to win that. Steve, you had spent many years as a professor and as the athletic director at Penn State Fayette before moving on from that position. Obviously, we know about the future of Penn State Fayette, and it's unfortunate because it had been such an asset to our local students looking to stay close to home for college. How was your experience there at Penn State Fayette, sort of the golden years during that time when there was some real athletic success, some academic success, and of course the campus top-notch, still is, beautiful facilities?
Absolutely. It was a rewarding experience. It was a whole chapter in my life, Josh. But we saw a lot of success. We saw a great deal of students that have come through the 4-year programs and then gone on to even have, highly successful careers in their own right? But we saw national championships, we saw conference championships, we saw student athletes of the year.
Quite a few of those.
Quite a few, for sure. And with the recent news, obviously, it's disheartening to hear, the staple that it is in the community. You really feel for the employees, the students, the student athletes. But the experience itself is absolutely rewarding, and it set me up to continue my career in higher education.
Community, obviously not every branch campus is closing, but the ripples are going to be there through the system.
For sure. Yeah, it's a state of change right now, and not only just the Penn State system, but higher education in general. You wish well. You wish well to the student athletes and those that are finishing out this year and next year for Penn State and many other campuses that are closing. You just wish them well,
Certainly that is all you can do at this point, unless something really suddenly or dramatically changes. And Living Good pounds this one, it settles. It goes into the lattice work and the gym ceiling. Settles coming right back. Lauren White there. Excellent play by her. Campbell to Campbell. The law firm trying to deliver. Covered up by number 13, Leonard. This one's right at the net, and we got a whistle, and this one is going to go against the Lady Raiders. Player in the net on the floor right now for Uniontown. Both Holly and Maggie Campbell, Ava Livingood, your back row, Emma Latznick, Addison Majoris, and Lauren White. Leonard with the serve. This one catches the net, and we're even at 1. John, I certainly think, now you've seen some volleyball already this week, and you and I mentioned this earlier too. One thing we are really curious about that we don't know the answer to right now is how that Laurel Highlands and Thomas Jefferson match is playing out tonight.
Yes, Laurel Highlands in my career has always had a really solid volleyball squad. We'll wait for this point here.
Shirt's going to blast this one out of play. Good effort up front by Uniontown, denying Watton initially, but both teams undefeated in Section 3A.
And when I saw Laurel Highlands in that county tournament, Brownsville defeated them, but they were, in that tournament, it was best of 3, but for those varsity players who are not used to that, maybe, I'm not taking anything away from Brownsville. That was a wonderful effort, and Brownsville is showing that they're one of the top teams. But Laurel Highlands has done, obviously, after that, Coach Michaela Hall has done a great job, and they haven't lost since. I don't want to jinx them because I know they're the rival, but they're really good people.
3 ball coming over, courtesy of Bickerton. Now the set going to go Livingood, and Livingood crushes this one into the net, unfortunately. By the way, Coach Hall from Laurel Highlands, connection to Penn State Fayette there too. She had played at Penn State Fayette, if memory serves me correctly, at one time. Maybe even as the libero at one point.
Yeah, and
I believe she won a few championships as well.
That was an incredible team. That was an incredible team, and anytime those players resurface at Penn State Fayette to visit, someone will say, we have some Penn State Fayette royalty here, some volleyball royalty is visiting, because that team, those teams, I should say, had been so successful. Here's a push coming from Watton, played right at the net. Settles, going to move it to Johnston. Johnston lifts it over. Now Campbell wants to tee up, coming this way to Pindrock, and Pindrock, yes, powers it through. Really good work by her, and Steve, she is only a sophomore.
One of those Franklin Elementary Bulldogs, gosh. I mean, that elementary school produces some unbelievable people. And only you and I probably get that joke, right?
I think Steve might get it too. Settles to Living Good, covered up there by Living Good, and now Elastic on the attack, big swing. I suppose it's fair to say, just to make sense for anyone listening, we're not only all Uniontown area high school graduates, we are all also Franklin Elementary products, Franklin Township.
Nowhere in the world, Josh, do you probably have 3 Franklin Township
Unless you're in
alumni
Franklin Township, yeah.
in one 3-square-foot spot.
Right.
I can promise you that.
Pindrock going to try it again, this time denied by the Lady Warriors. They're going to line up for number 11. Good looking swing there by Bickerton. This one gets away, and the Lady Warriors are going to lead now 5-4 here in set 2. Set 1 went to Uniontown 25-23. EF did win the JV match 2-0. Won both sets 1 and 2 by scores of 25-16. Here's Watton. This one's going to catch the net right in front of Mr. Tony Carter. That's an easy call to make. And we'll go 5-5. And Maggie Campbell, the one and only Maggie Campbell, one of our seniors on this Uniontown team, ready to go. Serve on the way. And this one's going to land right in front of Johnston. And Steve, that may have been an example of being in too perfect a position. Johnston was already on the floor, and when it came in low, she could not move forward in time to save it.
It's just an excellent serve all around.
Campbell going to test the waters again, and Maggie Campbell right now has got something really great started here. Uniontown up 7-5.
Just a bit of a breakdown in communication, and now you see the libero in the game.
Majoris back in for Uniontown. Here's Campbell. Going to catch Johnson again, and look out. Maggie Campbell is on a roll right now. We have seen Maggie Campbell do this before when she was a sophomore. She started off a match against the Ambridge Lady Bridgers. This was varsity, by serving 9 consecutive points to put Uniontown up 9-0. Here's Pindrock to Campbell, working in the middle, this time taking a swing. Watton wants to cover up, and this time it's going to be a free ball. Nearly catches the apron. Now, right at the net, a little tip. Going to come back. We have a whistle, and I assume, no, an attack over the net.
Josh, looking forward, Coach Kelly Weir is, I'm not picking, but she's pulling her hair out because these coaches always tell me when I speak to them after matches, communication. And unfortunately, for the Lady Warriors side, you could see a lot of girls kind of not, communicating. They were running into each other, and I'm sure Coach is like, you got to talk out there, and that'll be a point if they feel like they need to take a timeout. And you guys are knowing the sport more and the coaches, and that's a big point.
And right now the pendulum has swung, John, back against Uniontown. It's 8-8. And right now getting it done is Olivia Rakunas. Rakunas has several serves in a row here that have panned out in one way or another. And she'll take another swing at it. This one going to be played by Majoris. Good looking pass to Campbell. Back set. They want Pindrock. And a good swing by Jocelyn. Gets the lead right back for the Lady Raiders. And it is 9-8. And that's exactly what Uniontown needed in that scenario.
Josh, we saw a trade-off of 3-point stretches. Let's see if Uniontown can carry that and flip it the other way.
We'd love to see it. Nearly halfway through set 2. Pindrock, good serve. Johnston going to pass. And the set, they go way outside here. And that's going to be a violation. Number 13, Grace Leonard, not able to sneak that one in play. Leonard had to go quite far to her left to make a play on that. The set a bit too long outside. Earlier we saw an overpass from Uniontown that was absolutely crushed by Settles. This time Settles ducks out of the way, and we're going to get a free ball from the Lady Warriors. Pindrock moves it to Campbell. Campbell wants to set up her sister Hallie. Hallie is going to deliver off a few hands. And it's 11-8. Uniontown stays hot, bouncing back off of those Warrior serves. And they lead by 3 again. Elizabeth Ford, of course, traveling the, we assume, 51 corridor. There's a few ways to get from Uniontown to Elizabeth. That's probably the preferred for most people. This one off of Settle's hand and then into the net and cannot be played despite an effort by Rakunas. Elizabeth Ford consists of the borough of Elizabeth, Ford Township, Elizabeth Township, home to about 13,000 people, Forward Township about 3,000. The borough has a population of about 1,500. Pin drop. Settles, plays it high. The set, Rakunas going to back set here, and this one again gets away from Elizabeth Ford. That is twice in a minute or so that's happened. Bickerton again making Tony Carter really earn his paycheck tonight. They have set a lot of volleyballs his way. Here's pin drop. Good looking serve. Johnston going to move this ahead, and right now I think we need a timeout on the EF side, and I think we're going to have it. If not now, very soon. There it is. The Lady Warriors want to discuss. They trail now 14-8. We want to thank our sponsors again. These businesses have supported our volleyball boosters this season. Windows, Doors, and More Incorporated, located in Uniontown, your one-stop shop for mobile, home, and residential windows and doors. Family owned and operated for over 27 years. Contact them at 724-430-7470. Don't forget, too, the Uniontown Red Raider football team back in action tomorrow night. County rivalry game against the Albert Gallatin Colonials. That one will be in York Run. You can hear that one on our local radio station. WMBS will broadcast that via their Facebook and YouTube pages. I will be there for that broadcast. Looking forward to that one. And John, obviously you've covered some high school football recently too. Should be a good matchup. Uniontown will need to do some work, but we're expecting a fun game.
Well, AG runs that wishbone. I mean, I'm not, it's going to be a challenge, but I know.
And we're not talking about the reading dog, right?
No, not that dog, but some of the best passes he led.
And this is going to be tipped down by Lena Orendorf, and that one floated just a bit too long, and Orendorf sends it home, and Uniontown comes out of the timeout, stays strong.
7-0 stretch, as Stephen pointed out to me. And Pindrock, 7 service points already in this match.
Set coming. Big swing here from number 2. That was Lyric Wilson, and it will go off a touch and count.
And see, when I said something good, something negative happened. That's the old announcer's jinx, right, yeah. Mr. Scully?
That's okay, John. We have a lead right now, so we won't aggravate your rib injury. This one's going to land in between White and Majoris. Lauren White just checked in.
I think a little bit of that last serve there, Josh. Uniontown wasn't quite sure if it was in or out. I guess when in doubt, you probably should play it, but, sometimes it happens.
And this one, you couldn't have drawn it up any better. Off the tape and over, and lands in against Uniontown, and now it's 15-11.
Mr. Scully, I believe my colleague Robert Cheney will be covering that game tomorrow, so I will not get to see you, but Rob will probably be by, but I may have to tune in because I love to hear your broadcast.
We're going to have a lot of fun.
Yes, the enthusiasm you have.
Our tagline is going to be lots of fun in York Run.
And I said in one of my stories, Mr. Scully was in rare form.
Yeah, thank you for that, John. I did catch that. Someone sent that to me, and I really appreciated it. As Settles sends over the free ball. Nice pass by Lauren White to Living Good, but challenged at the net. Now White trying to save it, and it's nearly saved. Hallie Campbell came a long way to try to get the volleyball. Could not quite get there. 16-12. The Uniontown lead now down to 4. The Red Raiders did win set 1. Thank you, as always, for checking us out on UHS Talk. We will be back for Uniontown Senior Night. That'll be October 6th when the Lady Raiders, this one a diving effort from Majoris, but not quite there, when the Lady Raiders will take on the Carmichael's Lady Mikes. That will be senior night for Uniontown. This volleyball team, I'm sure, looking forward to that. October now just around the corner as that serve catches the net and Uniontown catches a break, 17-13.
It's amazing in my line of work, guys. It just seemed like I was starting last weekend. Golf season is almost over. There are individual athletes still, but the team portion, for the most part, past playoffs is done. So it's just amazing how
it is.
time flies, as they say. Obviously, we still have a lot to go in volleyball and soccer, and of course football. And I can't forget the sport. Believe it or not, I'm going to talk about myself. I used to compete in cross country and wrestling. And Stephen, if they did have that Fayette wrestling, I still have eligibility.
Majoris going to send this one over herself. Lines up for Wanton, and Wanton is out. Sorry, John, go ahead.
Well, I know this is about the team, not about me, but I had somebody see a picture of me in my current state, and the individual said, "That's not John Duke. That's not the John Duke I knew." And I said, "Well, you know."
Well, John, on the previous broadcast, you had described the earlier you as mean and feisty. You said you're a lot nicer now.
Yes. Well, is that looking good again?
Yes, that time though.
But I don't know. That was a straight kill on her part.
No, unfortunately there, John, she was blocked, and the block was not covered by Uniontown, and the point's going to go to EF.
Okay, well, thank you, and I'm not being silly. Some of this clarification, this is a sport you have to get a little bit of a feel for.
Scott passes to Livingood off the Uniontown Benjamin. Scott charges forward and takes a good swing. Now Majoris, a little pass here. Campbell wants to load up, coming our way outside. Pindrock has that one go off the base of her hand. And it's 18-16 now. The Red Raiders still holding a lead, but the Lady Warriors not wanting to fade just yet.
I think it's when we said about that 7-0 run. Maybe my ribs will be hurting more later.
Campbell, quick one over, trying to catch the Lady Warriors sleeping. Settles, big swing from the back row, and Scott is able to get a touch, but can't save it. Now it's 18-17, and a timeout taken by Uniontown. Steve, speaking of close games, obviously very close here, 18-17. You played some sports in high school. You also had a very accomplished ice hockey career for what was then the California University of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, wow. Transferring from Penn State to Cal U at the time, now Penn West University, I had an opportunity to play club college hockey, specifically in the ACHA Division 3-4, at the time Cal 1, Cal 2. It was a time where enrollments were bigger across the board, right? And so we were fortunate to have 3 different hockey teams as a member of that club. My final year, we won the championship, right? And so
Carnegie Mellon was the opponent?
Carnegie Mellon, yeah, correct. Yeah, anytime an athlete gets to sort of walk away as a champion is something you can really kind of put a feather in your hat with and just appreciate, right? Not everyone gets that opportunity.
Right. And a great play again. John mentioned it earlier. Emma Latznick again getting it done. Great pass off the floor, sets up Uniontown to score. 19-17. Ava Livingood now looking for 6 as the server. Livingood jumps into this one. It's a good serve. First touch. Sends it skyward. Now settles, wants to go back to number 11, Bickerton. Going to be played here by Latznick. Campbell's going to set up outside, and Pindrock really nearly sent that one home. Well played there by Settles, coming back the other way. Diving on the floor, and a little collision here is going to prohibit Uniontown from further development. Scott played it well. Uniontown not able to send it back, 19-18. And Steve, now of course you have a chance to essentially coach that program, the Penn West California hockey team. You're a coach on that staff, and that has to be fulfilling to get a chance to come back and do that. This one gets away from Uniontown, and we're tied at 19.
It's a full circle moment, Josh. Anytime you get an opportunity to come back to your alma mater, right? Being here in this arena, albeit it looks different than it was when
Bit
we
of a
were
different
here,
look. Bit
right?
of a different look.
Yeah. Anytime you get an opportunity to come back and coach, even coach for your your alma mater, be an alum, just to kind of help give back and recreate that experience that you had, right? That we can kind of recreate that for the athletes now.
I love that point.
Different.
Yeah, different design for the gym now, but certainly a very nice facility. Campbell trying to catch the Warriors sleeping. She nearly does. And we're going to see a push come back, a nice quiet one there. Latchnick to Majoris to Campbell. Campbell takes the swing. Well played by Leonard. Now moving outside to number 11, Bickerton. And Torrey Bickerton, the junior, not able to find the hardwood on the other side. Pindrock has this one fall back against Uniontown, and now it's the Lady Warriors who lead 21-19. Meadow Watton, the senior, number 23, jumps into this one, right-handed serve, good one. Scott to Pindrock. Pindrock keeps it alive. Majoris, good communication. Calls off everybody else. Johnston going to move this one ahead to Leonard, and a little tap across was all it took. Torrey Bickerton. And that'll cue up a timeout taken here by the Lady Raiders. It's 22-19 in set number 2. Uniontown does have one set in their pocket. They won set 1, 25-23. This set, again, has been very close, and you see Coach Spear pulling Maggie Campbell to his side and whispering maybe some oh-so-subtle changes as we want to recognize Ma Maruka's Pizza, located at 64 Barton Mill Road in Uniontown. 724-438-9066. Visit MomMarukasPizza.com for menus and live event schedules, family-friendly indoor and outdoor seating, live music, catering services, and the best taco pizza in Uniontown at Mom Maruka's.
You guys, well, it's EF here at serving, but I don't want to take away from the broadcast, but I haven't had much taco pizza.
You're missing out, John. Here's a pass to Campbell. Way off the net. Pindrock can't get there. 23-19. We want to take a moment and wish a happy birthday to Elizabeth Ford's number 17, sophomore Courtney Pope, celebrating her 16th birthday today. Happy birthday. EF looking for 2. Majoris to Campbell. And this one is going to be sent over by Pindrock. It's not too late for Uniontown. They need a stop here. Settles, able to get that one to roll over the top of the net. And it's going to be 24-19. And the Lady Warriors have really put their foot down.
Well, as I mentioned, the guys, telling unofficial stats. I promise I will get better. But I have won for about 7 service points already in this match.
That sounds quite possible, John, as Pindrock sends across the free ball, the libero. Pass to Settles, big swing and in. And that brings the Elizabeth Ford crowd to life. 25-19, EF levels this one at 1 set apiece. And that is just the 4th set the Lady Warriors have won this month. But it was a good one, and it was a badly needed one.
I have to say this. You use a soccer term in volleyball.
I'm very sorry, John. I hope that has not cost me potentially taco pizza.
No, I
Lost
love the
John's taco pizza.
I love the beautiful game.
Oh, good.
I've been covering it a lot, and I'll admit I've been made fun of too, even by my own wife. She says, "How many soccer games are you going to cover?" I said, "Well, I'm the only one that does it. I mean, you know, so what are you going to do?"
Right. John, where will you be tomorrow night?
Actually, fellas, I am going to be in the office because I am covering golf tomorrow, the Fayette County Championships. And as much as I appreciate a sun-up to sundown day, I kind of wanted to just have a little easier shift. So my man at the Harold Robert Chaney said, why don't you just stay in the office and just skip the games, you know, that we aren't able to cover, which for us, I mean, I know I'm here to talk about the Red Raiders, so I don't want to get too much.
No, that's good, John.
Yeah,
I think that's awesome.
We'd like to get to it, and of course, we have to go to that AG game because it's 2 county teams.
Right.
And
2 independent county teams.
Yes, and really, AG has been the flag bearer of good independent football. I mean,
they've been very strong this season.
And I don't want to, put words in the coach's mouth. Coach Drew Dindle, who's done a great job, he said, okay, I get people like, why aren't you here in the Whippy? What are you trying to accomplish? It's like, well, we got kids at college. We have big crowds. People get excited about our team. So, I mean, you never know. And that's the thing. It's an exciting crowd there, and It's going to be raucous. So, Mr. Scully, make sure you wear your headgear and your official.
Well, John, I will tell you this. I got my clothes that I'm going to wear to school tomorrow. I got them together today before I came here, and I initially started to pull out a black shirt, and I thought, can't do it. Can't wear colonial colors on the day of the big game. No one will let me live that down. So I found something that was maroon and white, and that's what I'm going to wear tomorrow.
Well, I covered a game, and I had this summer. I covered a game, and I won't. Well, I'll name the name. Baseball guy in Collinsville by the name of Tom Snyder. I was covering their team. I had a green shirt on. Now it had nothing to do with Penn Trafford, but they were playing. It was actually Legion, but it was kids from Penn Trafford. They had a green shirt on, and he said, "Why are you wearing their colors?" And I said, "Coach, I didn't realize. I kind of forgot that they were playing." This school, but it's a wrestling shirt, Powerade wrestling, amateur wrestling. I want to distinguish that for people. So it had nothing to do with, but he was very angry at me because he is a longtime Connersville guy. But anyway, I digress. It was just an interesting situation. So even the reporters have to be careful. Even though technically I should be unbiased, obviously our newspaper does not cover Harrison City is where Penn Trafford.
Right. And speaking of wrestling, though, John, I'm glad you brought that up because, and I think Stephen alluded to it earlier, there was a time where Penn State Fayette hosted the USCAA National Wrestling Championships.
Absolutely. One of many sport national championships we hosted. It ended up becoming more of a destination for national championships.
I have to bring this up. Nathan Spinetti, a Uniontown grad, his dad was a state champion, won a USCAA national title. So good job, great for Nathan. I believe it was in Texas, but he said his dad was more excited than him. But really nice thing, and Nathan did a great job there. And they had a great program with the wrestling.
Yeah.
And I know all these Uniontown tie-ins, but Jerry Simon, former Uniontown coach and teacher, was the coach. So interesting times.
Uniontown looking to bounce back here in set 3. At the net, Watton not able to get that one to go down. Settles, plays it on the end line. Set, they're going to load up number 11, Tori Bickerton, and Bickerton gets that one to land. And Steve, from any sport, any coaching perspective, Uniontown had a really significant set 2 lead. They let that slip through their fingers. They lose set 2. You want to bounce back now. You certainly do not want to go down 2-1. What sort of encouragement do you tell a student athlete after a disappointing, let's say, set or quarter of play?
Well, you're playing with emotion, right? And not a good emotion, right? So you really want to settle your team. You really want to refocus, settle. Come out this third set, there's some focus. You'll notice in that second set where the mishaps were occurring were either not in position, not communicating correctly, just not being heads up with the play. And so I think Coach really wants them to be a little more focused on the game plan, right? On what they can control. So we'll see. It's a 1-1 start right now in Uniontown Circuit.
Coach Nottingham, as you spoke, Steve, giving the signal to Pindrock where to send that one, and it works. Pindrock hits the spot, and now Uniontown leads 2-1. Now, Steve, when we cover volleyball at Penn State Fayette, often I work with a Uniontown area high school teacher, Chuck Durso. He often references, in this is his opinion, but it's certainly, I think, a good one, how important set 3 is as Pindrock picks up an ace in any volleyball match. If you're up 2-0, it wins the match. If it's 1-1, you really want to win set 3.
Absolutely, yeah. You're in a dire situation, and you really need mental resilience, right? Mental toughness. So it's a test of mental toughness for these athletes when we're in a situation like this.
And right now, Jocelyn Pindrock is really delivering for her team 4-1. Pindrock strong early in this match. Played varsity as a freshman last year, sophomore now, and she has looked good tonight.
Coach Nottingham does that much on Steve, when she does the clipboard and signals. I don't see a lot of other coaches doing that. From your experiences, guys, is that just depending on the coach?
I think that's a coaching style, John. I think you could see that sort of signaling in virtually any sport.
And it's similar to a baseball coach
Right.
giving a signal for an at-bat signal or a base running signal. They have set plays or locations they want to serve or redirect. It's as Josh said, a coaching style for sure.
This one at the net going to be sent over by Hallie Campbell. Johnston moves this one over to Rakunas. Uniontown, though, ready to recover off the swing. Here's Lyric McGlee off the touch, and the Uniontown senior drops one in for the Red Raiders, and the Lady Raiders certainly appreciate that. They have some breathing room now. They are ahead 5-3.
Yeah, McLee in the last match of that Josh Alberg out, and she was definitely one of the top players, and obviously senior and looking good here.
Multi-sport athlete too. She plays virtually all the sports. Here's Uniontown now to Hallie Campbell. Good looking swing. Johnston though able to cover that up. Rakunas going to move it out to Bickerton. Uniontown sends it right back. Now settles way outside. Gets this one caught at the net, and it's a block for Ava Livingood and Lyric McGlee. Double block. They close it out, and Uniontown now is ahead 6-3. And Steve, how good it must feel in this situation. You do feel some momentum starting to come back, and that's what Uniontown wants.
You feel it, but you can't recognize it if you're Uniontown. You have to be in the moment. You got to forget about this 3-point stretch because you had a 5-point stretch last set, and you didn't come away with the win.
That is a good point. This one is out. Well played. Coach Nottingham yelling at Hallie Campbell, letting Hallie know we don't want that one. 7-3, Addison Majoris.
That was good, fellas, to have Coach Nottingham there to tell her player, no, it's out.
Good serve. Here's the set. Swinging. Bickerton just ahead of Scott. And the Lady Warriors needed that one. They make it 7-4. Both Scott and Majoris, as Scott is subbing out here in favor of Emma Latsnick, both Scott and Majoris played significant roles for this team last year as freshmen. They're back as sophomores, and they are, to say the least, valuable to the defensive aspect of this Uniontown team. And Campbell is going to perhaps catch the antenna there as it rolls across the tape. Otherwise, look good, 7-5. Bickerton steps into this one. Line drive. Lyric McGlee, well played. To Livingood against the block. Again, the Lady Warriors ready that time. Rakunas tracks this one down, nearly goes into the net, and settles, can't save it. And Uniontown goes back up 3, 8-5. And we're going to see a substitution on the Lady Warriors side. And for Uniontown, Orendorf checks in Maggie Campbell, who did oh so good last year and the year before. And quite frankly, the year before, Campbell is a senior. And since her freshman year has been a vital component of this team. Campbell now going to back set, look at it to Orendorf, and Orendorf has it come right back. This one unfortunately gets away from Uniontown. Off a touch, 8-6. The Lady Warriors again hanging around.
Guys, as I'm looking here at Mr. Carter and all the rules, and just a little, what sport would you want to most be involved in as official and the least?
Well, this sport, John, and I'll let Steve answer that too, this sport does have more structuring where I think the official has to interpret the rules less often. There's a less interpretation. I think that structure could make this not easy, as this point also slips between a couple Uniontown players. Probably the least, baseball. Do not want to be the umpire. They want to replace the umpire with a computer.
Well, here's what I want. Cross country.
I got to be honest, John, I hadn't thought that. That would be, I think, one of the simpler officiating duties.
For sure, low stress, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I totally love the sport, but
Latsnick to Campbell. Campbell sends over a quick back set that clears the net. Here's Shirt's going to be denied. Campbell goes to Livingood. Livingood, good looking swing, but settles is there deep. Now right at the net, and that one is going to be a carry. No! A player in the net, apparently. My goodness.
well, in cross country, guys, you do have to get everybody together and ready to start and do those things, but then you shoot the gun off and they go. I mean, that's about it. You know, you check them at the finish line, and they have people to do that. So that's why. And I agree, baseball would be tough. Maybe for my own personal experience, wrestling, I wouldn't want to do that because the fans are passionate.
Yes.
Is the best way I can describe it.
Very well said, Joe.
Steve, where do you drop in on that, on the officiating?
Well, most comfortable, I have to say, hockey, obviously. Played it my whole life, had some opportunities to do some recreational league officiating. You know, I already know the rules, so it's an easy fit in for me. I think the hardest sport, I don't know about soccer. I don't know if I can do the distance with those
Right, that's a good point.
with those
There's
athletes.
a lot of
You know,
constant motion there.
You know, I don't think I'm that much out of shape, but I would imagine the amount of steps you put in one
Yes.
game is
You get your exercise.
that's for sure. Yeah.
Good looking serve. Majoris plays it near the end line. Campbell, big long set to Pindrock. Pindrock gets crossed. Too much on it. Now Uniontown trails by 2. It's 11-9 in set 2.
We want to get back to the match. I don't want to get too off, but Josh, I've seen wrestling people influence the officials to change calls.
Oh, I'm sure that happens. Another one coming our way, and right now.
I think somebody over here doesn't like me. I've been hit. I've almost been hit. I don't think I said anything.
And John, you're still standing.
Yeah, well, I'm tougher than I look. EF serving here up through Uniontown. This is a big spot here.
Living good with the push. Johnson moves it ahead. Swing from Shirt's going to be denied by Majoris. Now Campbell working right at the net. Living good is blocked by Lawton. Good work there. Started with number 6, Marley Johnston, the libero for EF, and now it's 13-9. Uniontown wants to take a timeout, and they will. We want to thank those businesses that have supported our Uniontown Area High School Volleyball boosters. Windows, Doors, and More Incorporated, located in Uniontown, your one-stop shop for mobile, home, and residential windows and doors. Family-owned and operated for over 27 years. Contact them at 724-430-7470 or find them on Facebook. Also, as a reminder to the student body at Uniontown Area High School, we would love to see some students volunteer with these broadcasts. Could be a great experience for you, especially if you see your future in the media world. We would love to have volunteers working with the broadcast, both as on-air talent, working behind the broadcast, perhaps as a producer or as a camera operator.
Guys, just real quick on some statistics. And Settles, Kaylin Settles, I have 10 service points, 3 aces. It's Meadow, Watton, I'm sorry, to Meadow. It's Meadow, first name, right?
Yes.
She has 10 service points. So these EF girls are doing a great job at the line here. I just ran on to an ace here for Grace Linhart. So it seems, I don't want to say it's like Uniontown's making mistakes to be critical. I'm just saying it looks like a lot more unfair fares. You guys, Steven, you can adapt more on that side than me. Or elaborate,
Yeah. Right now it's just, Uniontown, they're kind of falling into a bit of a hole. They're trying to find their game again, right? Trying to find that momentum. I think now it's just, you got to refocus. One serve, one volley at a time.
And this is a good one. Goes off 3 hands, but not able to be directed, and Uniontown is back within 3, 14-11.
And I guess Steven must not have that jinx, Josh, because when he says something, they do good.
Well, we're going to keep having him say good things. That's what we like. Lawton unfortunately drops one in. 15-11 now as EF finds an answer quickly.
And obviously, you don't want to get into an exchange right at this point. The rate we're going, Uniontown needs to come away with a couple stretch points.
Yes, they do. 15-11, your score in set 3. Shirt's going to serve this one off the side of her hand, and a nice break for Uniontown.
Well, you take those points because you've had a couple go against you, so it's nice to have one go for you. And now, obviously, you're serving, so it's your time to really attack.
Allie Campbell sends this one across. Good pass here. They will set up Bickerton. Bickerton, little swing. Well played there by Majoris. They go to Pindrock off the set. Johnston able to get a touch, and now some confusion here. Settle sees that and sends a push across. Coming back the other way, it's going to be a free ball from Campbell. Johnston. They want to load up Watton in the middle, and this one is covered very nicely by Campbell. And I don't know what happened. It looked like maybe...
Looked like a Uniontown player hurt.
Oh, hopefully everyone is okay.
Yeah.
Coach Spear will pull the team to the side, and we'll see a substitution.
That's number 9.
Campbell.
Yes.
Slow to get up.
Hopefully Maggie is okay. Layla Evans, one of Uniontown's 3 seniors. Uniontown has just the 3 seniors: Evans, Campbell, Maggie Campbell, and Lyric McGlee.
Well, obviously, hope everything's okay with Maggie, but we do have one of the best trainers around in Gladys.
Yes.
But still, you know, always a concern. Any team if you see somebody go down. I mean, of course, these are student athletes and not pros.
Miss G does a great job. Covers
A
a lot of space, a lot of distance.
I've asked her, Josh, to help me when my back hurts and all the other extremities, and she gives me good advice.
Hallie Campbell takes the swing, and this one gets through, and Uniontown now can maybe put aside a few moments of distress there, and they're back to within 3. Pindrock will serve. Lauren White will check out for Lyric McGlee.
Josh, I could be like one of those NFL roving reporters and go over and check the medical report, but I don't know if they want me to do that.
Well, hopefully Maggie's okay. She was moving under her own power, which is good to see. And this one is out, and the point goes back to EF.
Just there. But the amazing thing about announcing, guys, is how the world has changed. I can't imagine sticking a microphone in the late, great Dave Shuck's face at halftime. Coach, how do you feel your team's playing? I don't think he would like it.
And this one catches the net. Uniontown does like that, and again they're back within 3. Addison Majoris will drop back to serve, and this one is starting to get late, 17-14. Uniontown looking to get in the passing lane here and gain some ground. Settles, overpass, and that was easy pickings for Uniontown. Good group up front, by the way. Maggie Campbell back in the match with Lyric McGlee and Ava Livengood. Some experience, some size, and some very fine volleyball players here in the front row for Uniontown. 17-15, Majoris sends this one on its way. Going to be played by Watton deep. Now Wilson gets a touch, and Settles sends over a 3 ball out. And again, well played. Sorry, Steve.
No, you're fine. Good patience, just to wait it out. You know the distance. You know how far you are from the back row. Good patience.
I will say that Settles has been about everywhere tonight on the court for Elizabeth Ford.
She has been very good. She's good here again. But EF not able to save that one, and we are tied at 17. And my goodness, what a match it has been. Timeout taken. And Steve, we had mentioned earlier you were the former Penn State Fayette athletic director. You have moved on from that role, and you have moved on to Carlow University to the College of Health Science, and you are working on something very special there at Carlow. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. I was had the opportunity to work with a lot of the health science professors, the faculty, the dean of students, with some opportunities to grow health science. Grow programming and curriculum at the university. We're in the middle of that new approach to exercise science, a new holistic approach to exercise science, working on developing new curriculum, new 4-year program, hopefully underway here in the next year or two for students interested in varying careers in personal training, exercise science.
Which are becoming very popular. More people becoming aware of those types of programs.
For sure. We anticipate to see a 14% growth rate in career field in the next 10 years in exercise science. So, it's a great career, a great discipline, a great, industry to be a part of here in the next decade.
Really good situation for another unforced error. Like I said, I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing either. I'm just saying, taking advantage of that situation. But you got to get your points earned too, and hopefully that can get them to go into a nice kick there.
Wide open, John. Wide open. Ava living good.
Excellent support in the middle. Great player-to-player cohesion, right?
Yes.
And then a statement point.
Really love what Hallie Campbell was able to do in order to generate that opportunity. Hallie was in the perfect spot. Settles had a really nice tip. Solid open spot on the floor. Campbell got there, covered that up. That allows Uniontown to fire right back, and Uniontown now leads by 2.
Yes, and we're talking games and runs, gentlemen. Last set, I believe EF was down already and had a run. Here, hopefully, for Uniontown, Settles right on cue.
Settles looking for that same spot. This time she gets it.
And just guys, I know this is, I'm going to talk about myself first. As usual, I like to hear about me. But my wife is listening, guys.
Good. Mrs. Guth, hope you're enjoying it. Long serve there from Bickerton. She's listening to a very good match. John, I got to say this before I forget, because you've reminded me of something.
Yes.
I'm so grateful that you mentioned that, John, because tomorrow is my wife's birthday. So if she's listening, Mrs. Scully, happy early birthday.
Happy birthday.
And when Josh and I went...
Good play there by Shirts to pop that up.
Excellent.
Oh my, Ava living good. Making this interesting. EF now settles with a chopper over the net. Here's Campbell setting up living good at the net. McLeese saves it, well covered there. Coming back the other way, settles is long.
Obviously, guys, Ava living good, a nice dig there, and 14 the Harrison Majors for Uniontown. Another dig, I mean,
Great play.
I thought that was on the floor. She took it off the, what do we call this? Well, not the parquet here, but...
Beautiful work there by Majoris. Good back set. Orndorff looking for space. EF denies. Set. Back set for EF2. Now Campbell coming back the other way to Ava Livingood. That one is called in. Going to be waved off by Tony Carter. He says it's long. Very tough call. That is what we say, the shadow of the ball.
Very close, Josh. Very close.
If people didn't have Tony Carter, they'd say, hey, call it both ways. But it's Tony's Uniontown grad.
Yes. And he's very good.
But he is a very thorough official. That's what I was getting at.
And ball doesn't lie, Josh.
That's right.
We have a service ace here, or a service error, and now it's Uniontown's ball, 22 to 19.
And when I walk in
We
the
are
house,
knocking on the door.
after we do a broadcast play, Josh, my wife says you and Josh are silly.
Lyric McGlee sends it over. Uniontown needs 3. Back set going to come our way to Wilson. Denied by McGlee. What a dig we had there. Now Pindrock, little miscommunication perhaps, sends over a free ball. Set from Rancunis, going to go to Wilson. Wilson, actually a very good hit there just across the net. Now Livingood going to go for the tip. Denied. EF needs to get it back. Wilson again off the net. Majoris going to serve as the setter here to Orndorff. Denied at the net, but well covered by Uniontown. Coming right back, a collision. Now EF scrambles. Sends over the free ball. Majoris going to go back to Orndorff again, and this one did not quite elevate. 22 to 20.
Excellent volley. A lot of excellent athletic plays.
Yes.
Saves.
What a battle.
I'm too old for this, guys.
I'm very sorry, John, but you're still hanging in there.
I'm tougher than I look.
This one is going to just clear the net. And here's Livingood off the block, but well covered by Uniontown. Uniontown's coverage has been superb. Now Pindrock sends one home, and I don't even know that she needed it because there's a player in the net, and now Uniontown is looking for 2. 23-20. Timeout taken by EF. Steve, tell us a little bit about Carlow University. It may be a newer name to some of our students here locally, but Carlow, largely through athletics and their participation in some events at Penn State Fayette, have become a bit more familiar, I think, to Uniontonians as far as where their campus is and who they are. Of course, founded by the Sisters of Mercy over 100 years ago, originally operated under a different name. Then they were Carlow College for a while. Then they became the university. They are the Celtics. And Steve, I'm telling you right now, I'm assuming for Christmas I will be getting some very sharp purple and gold Carlow University athletic gear.
Absolutely, Josh. Yeah. Obviously, if you're good, we'll make sure your stocking is full of maybe even a purple stocking at that. It's a fantastic university position, just sort of adjacent to Pitt University. Private school, obviously.
The Oakland neighborhood.
Oakland neighborhood, for sure. Small athletic programs are making a transition to NCAA, though.
Which is really cool.
Absolutely, which implies they project growth, right? They project growth. In addition to the new incoming four-year programs, I think it's a good time to be a Carlow student, and I'm just glad that they're expanding and really kind of sharing their mission.
Absolutely. EF trying to stick around. Here's Campbell. Pops it up. Little touch here from Lauren White and a big swing from Orndorff. And that's going to get it done. A diving effort by Settles sends it into the stands. And Uniontown now just needs one more to win a very, very back and forth set 3. Uniontown will potentially be ahead 2-1. Best out of 5. Lauren White clapping her hands, encouraging her teammates. Here's Living Good. Sends it on its way. Going to be a double touch here, nearly 2 players in on it. Big swing here from the outside, covered up by White. Good dig, Campbell. Will load up Pindrock, looking for the win. This one set right back over and 1. And now off the floor. It's going to be Sharks denied at the net. It never cleared. That does it. 25-20. What a battle in set 3. That seemed to me much closer than 25-20.
It's not over, Josh. It's not over. But you do want to win that third set.
Yes.
If you're Uniontown, you need to win that third set because now you're carrying that momentum into the fourth where you can just kind of put a stamp on the ticket, right?
Right. Would love to see Uniontown come out of the gate here quick and communicate that they are not going to allow the Lady Warriors to battle their way back into this. John, do you have some statistics?
As always, I want to start with a qualifying statement. I'm good for this. These are totally unofficial, so bear with me if I'm off. But 10 service points for Jocelyn Pindrock. The pride of Franklin Elementary, correct?
Yes, sir.
And Living Good, Ava.
I'm glad you called her that, John, because I hope she's not listening to these and thinking, why is he saying that about me all the time? But I'm glad you picked that up.
Absolutely. And Ava Living Good, 5 service points. I have her with 2 aces, but what Ava has been doing with a lot of things, but she has 9 kills. So Ava doing a great job at the putting the ball away. Orndorff with 3 kills, 4 service points.
She was very good in that set.
Maggie Campbell, 4 service points. And Emma Lasnik, just being a younger player coming in, a couple service points, and then Ava obviously has some walk, and Lyric McLeod came in and did a nice job. EF, Caitlin Settles, I keep mentioning her, but 10 service points.
John, she has been very good.
3 aces, 3 kills, and just because I'm having enough trouble doing the kills and service points, I don't have her digs, but a lot of digs. She's playing libero, I believe, correct? And Meadow Watton, I know I keep mispronouncing that. And then I say I'm sorry, and people make fun of me for apologizing. But maybe Meadow will listen later. But she had 8 service points. And Charlie Shirks leads the EF with 6 kills. And we were at 25-20. Uniontown taking this third set, first set, 25-23. Uniontown EF came back 25-19. I don't know what you guys expect in the second set, this fourth set. But obviously, as you said, Josh, Uniontown coming out strong. But I mean, EF matches them, we go to 5. I mean, to me, that's like it's take your pick. So this is the total obvious statement, but Uniontown would be in their best interest to win this now.
Yes, I agree. Just a few points to build off that John made. We do want to welcome in anyone from Elizabeth or the Mon Valley listening tonight. Thank you. We did try our best to share this link with that community to allow for this broadcast to be enjoyed by them as well. So thank you. If you're listening from Allegheny County or if you're listening from Elizabeth, PA, thank you very much for checking us out here on UHS Talk. You can click for notifications when UHS Talk goes live, and we will be back in action 1 week from tonight with boys and girls soccer at Bill Power Stadium. The girls will get us started. Actually, I'm going to correct myself. It is a three-headed match, if you will. The middle school team plays first, then girls high school soccer, then boys high school soccer. We will bring to you the two high school matches that night. They will be back-to-back, and we will hopefully generate two distinct broadcasts for them so that we have two distinct title cards. But click for notifications when we go live. Check us out. We really appreciate everyone who watches. We've got some relatively strong numbers tonight, and we appreciate the viewership for sure. And thank you, John, for doing those stats as well.
Well, you're welcome. And just as a sports writer, our favorites, they say, what's a sports writer's most known drinking alcohol? But favorite beer, Free and Free Light. Now, they don't give us beer, but Elizabeth Ford has one of the best press box amenities of any school, and I know I'm here at Uniontown.
Thankfully,
yes.
John, right. Being that it is a high school, we love the press box there, but of course, we are not expecting any such service, that's for sure. Free ball coming back, and going to be played there by Holly Campbell. The set goes right at the net, and a swing going to be blocked there by the Lady Warriors. Now Campbell wants to set up Holly Campbell, who swings in the net. That's going to even us up at 1. And John, like you said, the Lady Raiders really want to win this one now. This is the last set that will be played to 25. After this, if we go to 5, set 5 played just to 15.
Yes, and obviously, Josh, I do not go to events.
That one catches the net, 2-1. In favor now of Uniontown, the Lady Raiders. If you'd like to see it this way, they need 23, and you want to keep seeing that number get smaller. Played by the libero Johnston, settles, gets a touch, goes to Bickerton. Covered up there well by McGlee. Set to Ava Livengood, and this one goes off a hand. And John, there's one more topping for Mamaruka's world-famous taco pizza. That volleyball was torched. 3-1 your score.
I don't have an answer for that in terms of a comeback. But I will see what I can do to get you that pizza.
3-1 off the hand. There's a touch on the floor. Free ball comes over. You'd really love to see the Lady Raiders start to dominate here. McGlee is going to be across the line. Had a foot slip under the net. Otherwise, a very good-looking approach there for Lyric, and it's 3-2. Back row right now for Uniontown. Majoris, White, and McGlee. And the front row is Pindrock, Campbell, and Livengood coming to us.
Josh, as much as it's a 3-2 game coming out of this set, the energy, the tilt just seems to be in Uniontown's favor right now.
Yes, I agree. White to Campbell. I sort of sense that too. Here's McGlee right at the net. That one stays on the tape. Settles there battling. Majoris gets a touch. Lyric McGlee, maybe with the play of the night, goes into the stands to get a touch. Coming back the other way. Swing from Rakunas, a little touch, and that's all it took, though, to drop in.
Excellent placement by EF number 7, Olivia Rakunas.
Yeah, Rakunas did a really nice job there. Very graceful touch. Finds the spot. Watton with the serve. Played by White at the net and pounded home by Settles. And John, you've said it a few times, and it's true. Kaylin Settles has been incredible for EF. She has been good all night and really good from everywhere.
No, well, our friends at EF want to stop at Mamaruka's and get some of that pizza.
They just might.
I guess it depends how late we are.
That's true. Here's an ace. If we go to 5, Mamaruka's will probably be closed by the time we would get there. But tomorrow's a new day, John. What goes better with high school football than some hometown pizza from Mamaruka's, proud supporter of the volleyball boosters here at Uniontown Area High School. Back set, Pindrock, swinging from the right side, catches the antenna, and look out, the Lady Warriors are actually ahead here, 6-3.
That's a 4-point stretch, Josh, and Uniontown really kind of needs to stifle this one.
The Lady Warriors.
I'm sitting here talking about pizza, and we got a back and forth match. I'm sorry.
Well played there, free ball. Going to be moved off the end line. Bickerton, little slap here, well played by Uniontown. Coming back to Livingood. And Ava Livingood back to form. EF had done a really good job, more or less selling out to block her every time. That time she's a bit off the net, a block nowhere in sight, and she finds some space between a few defenders. It's 6-4 in favor of the Lady Warriors. Now, here's pin drop. She jumps into this one on its way, catches the net, and EF picks up a free point as Emma Latsnick will check in for Uniontown. Again, if you're just joining us, the Lady Raiders are on the right side of your screen, the Lady Warriors on the left. The Warriors wear red and black with some white trim and number. Uniontown in their home whites, maroon trim and number. Majoris, who wears maroon as the libero, gets it to Campbell, a push from Lyric McGlee. Coming back the other way, Bickerton off the net and hits the net with that one, and Uniontown will take that all night. It's 7-5.
Point-for-point exchange now. If they can ride this for a little while they can also collect maybe a couple 2-3 point streaks, we're right back in it.
Would really love to see Uniontown do some damage here. McGlee sends this one out. Well played by Settles, who pursued it. And coaches will tell players, follow it to the line. Never assume that it's going to break the plane of the sideline or the end line. Stand there and watch it go. And that's exactly what Settles does. Now Bickerton with her team up 3, 8-5. Serve on the way, going to be played by Latsnick over the net. And here's Rakunas, a little trickery here. Hallie Campbell gets a touch. Now Emma gets a touch, and Ava Livingood sent it in the right direction. Did not quite have the distance.
Now, for some reason,
9-5.
guys, when the girls come this way and they're only like a little bit past Mr. Carter, I move back. I guess
You haven't had a good luck.
John, the newspaper told me that they cannot risk you getting a concussion. You have to work tomorrow. Hallie Campbell with the swing. Rakunas, back set. Now off the net, Bickerton hits it into the net. And speaking of working tomorrow, John, and the Herald Standard, we would like to thank the Herald Standard for again offering their e-edition for free to the Uniontown Area School District. A great resource for us in the Uniontown area for sure, for students to be able to access the newspaper, for faculty to be able to access the paper, and it's a free service. Settled, dug out by Livingood. Rakunas going to set up Schertz, who's denied at the net. Now Campbell looking for a spot, and she's going to get it.
This is what you want to see, Josh.
Livingood at the service line. Sorry, Stephen. Just 6 points there. She got, 11 kills. If Settles is the EF MVP, at least right now, Ava is Uniontown's MVP for the night's match.
Livingood building her case for that sort of recognition. Absolutely. It's 9-8. Livingood delivers the ace. Uniontown just down by 1. Here's the serve. Watton going to pop it up in the air. Rakunas back set. They go to Schertz. Going to hit cross. First touch Campbell and a collision. Hallie Campbell and Lyric McGlee getting their feet tied up, and EF will catch a break. Maggie Campbell comes over and says, hey, no more of that. It's 10-8.
Will you tell your students that, I hope you do, I'm begging on the air, what a fabulous reporter Jonathan Guth is.
We love to read John Guth features. I will tell you that. Set coming. Our way. Hallie Campbell, big swing off of Johnston's hands. Now they go to Schertz outside, going to be denied by Latsnick. Maggie Campbell, another big set to Hallie Campbell, and that one was a frozen rope that froze some hands, and it's 10-9. Hallie Campbell delivers big for Uniontown.
Yeah, big point here. Well, I say we, I guess this is a Uniontown broadcast, but I'm trying to be an unbiased professional reporter. So
thank you, John.
Uniontown here. I'm not a homer, really, guys, but my point is Uniontown's coming in this situation. I know they tie it. They were down, and no timeouts, right, guys?
No timeouts used yet. 10-10.
So they're doing this without having coach call them over. So that's a testament to the girls' maturity here.
Settles with the pass. Rakunas going to go to Wilson. Wilson from the right side. First touch goes Maggie Campbell. Majoris gets it under control. Now we have a push. Loading up middle. Go outside. Shirts going to be denied by Maggie Campbell. Majoris going to work as the setter. This one's at the net. Gets over. Wilson going to pass it back to Settles. Lyric McGlee on this side. Not going to let that one hit. Coming back. Hallie Campbell. Big swing. And Settles has had all the right answers until Hallie said, this one's fill in the blank. And we weren't ready that time on the EF side. We want the word bank, John.
For once in my life, I don't have anything to say.
Settles at the net. Orndorff nearly dropped one in, and Wilson's going to ride the tape out. Now, Steve, look at it from this perspective. It's 12-10, volleyball untimed. But we are getting late here. This could be getting late in the match. We're going to let Maggie Campbell serve this one up, and I got a question for you from the perspective of EF. That's how I'm going to dress this up. We'll see. Campbell going to send this one over. Settles to Rakunas, go outside to Shirts, and this one is out. And it may drive the point home for me here, Steve. I want to know, in this type of setting, this late from a coach's perspective, when you are behind and it's late, what do you need to channel for your players as Uniontown serves again?
It's pretty clear, Josh. You just need to tell your players, we've done this already, this game, right? So, as much as Uniontown is ahead, they haven't won it yet, right? And so you've got to keep that hope alive. You've got to keep showing, hey, listen, settle. Plenty of game left, plenty of opportunities to get our own 3, 4, 5-point streaks.
And this is going to be two, Steve, as
There
you
you go.
13-12, and some EF spectators on their feet here
And
inside
as you see,
A.J.
Coach,
Everhart
keeping the
Memorial
bench
Gymnasium.
light. He's keeping the bench light. They're
They say
having fun.
settles and settle, I get confused.
This one is into the net, so Uniontown catches a break.
Guys, every time I make a silly statement, it's a point for my the game people playing along.
Hallie Campbell. Uniontown needs 11. This one's into the net, and it's 14-13. Uniontown won the first set, sorry, John, 25-23. Lost the second set, 19-25. Uniontown won the third set, 25-20. Sorry, John.
Well, what I was going to say is not that important. I was just going to say, students, if you're listening, don't be afraid of me. I'm actually a nice guy.
I'll let them know, John. I'll drive the point home for you. Lauren White
And I don't know if
sees
anybody
that one
wants
go
to
off
be
the
a
wall.
newspaper reporter anymore. I know the newspaper is not everybody's favorite thing these days, but we still can get the news out online, and I appreciate you guys reading, Josh. And my point is, if any kid was willing to ask some advice, of course we'd always be glad to help, and it would be strictly on my I'd be glad to do it.
And the word must be out that we're getting late in this contest. Few new viewers just jumping on. 15-14. Settles. Going to move it this way. Right side attack from Watton, and this one is able to stick. And it's 15-all here in set 4. Uniontown leads 2-1. Your front row for Uniontown right now, Pendrock, Living Good and Campbell, back row, Majoris, Lauren White, and Lyric McLeod. Lots and lots of athleticism on the floor right now for Uniontown. Here's the serve from Watton. This one is not going to make it. And that athleticism will not get to show itself just yet as it's 16-15.
Watton does, I mean, look, 13 service points for her, and I may be a few off. But is it a situation when somebody's good at the line? I'm not taking away from what they're doing, but is it anything specific they do as a server? And I'm asking you guys more from like a coaching perspective. My experience is just,
Well, I'm
reporting.
sure, John, there's a lot of different approaches. Someone who has a good control over their serve, you may go deep, you may work left to right, you may surprise them with a short one that just clears the net. Certainly you see that at the college level quite often.
Also, how you contact the ball on the serve does matter. It can create a different trajectory on
Right.
the ball as it
A
crosses
line
over.
drive versus a floater. Uniontown picks up a
Very,
point.
very similar to baseball with a knuckleball, a curveball. You can put a spin on the volleyball itself.
Living Good guys with another kill there. I have her for 12. I wanted to say too, I've seen servers, not as much at the high school, but some of those girls, and I've seen it in guys' games too, because I've actually covered guys at other matches or other schools, and they throw it up there and just give a good,
And we
jump.
heard about that last week, John, for our broadcast for UHS Talk. We had Samantha Sweats, former college volleyball player and a longtime college volleyball coach, pointed out that in men's volleyball, the style has become to just try to crush every serve. Don't take any other approach. Just try to blast every serve and let that be the theme of your service for the whole match. I think in women's volleyball, you still see some variety, which I think is a good thing because it does add a level of strategy to the match, to the set that you don't otherwise see.
Well, some of the, I don't know if our school would ever have a boys volleyball team. They do play in the spring, but they do just try to crush it. I mean, the ladies, it's a lot more technical.
This was a good serve, dropped right in the middle. Raccoon sends over the free ball. Pin drop. The set's going to go to Livingood, and Livingood hits that one to the Monongahela, and it's on its way to the point, to the Ohio, to the Mississippi. It's out of here. Gulf of Mexico bound. It's 19-15.
And this arena's coming to life now, Josh. I tell you that much. I mean, we're just a few points away, and a statement point on the last volley.
Bickerton looking for the tip, and she'll have it. So the Lady Warriors not done yet. It's 19-16. Uniontown needs 6.
Well, maybe Ava George heard me say that the girls is more technical, the boys just crush it, because she crushed that last one. I can't come up with your saying, Scully. You're too good.
Serve from Raccoonus. It's a line drive. Lauren White, beautiful pass. Little touch here by Campbell, and a push from Lyric McGlee. And they're going to say that was a double hit violation against Uniontown, 19-17. By the way, we want to tip our cap to our line judges tonight. On our right-hand side, JV player Sincere Dunlap. This serve on the way. Going to be popped up by Latsnick. Beautiful pass. They go to Livingood, and Ace is going to be denied at the net. And the coverage could not quite get there. On the far side, the line judge is Sally Badinsky. We appreciate our line judges very much and the work that they do, especially in this sort of match, 19-18. Raccoonus jumps into this one. Good serve. Good pass by Majoris. Quick one over the Maggie Campbell special. Into the net, and it works!
Excellent play, excellent setup. Good decision on the quick over.
22-18. Uniontown needs 5. Lyric McGlee, the senior, plays basketball, plays softball. Probably would try curling if we offered that. Here's a free ball coming across from the Lady Warriors. Lyric's going to pass it ahead to Campbell. They go to Hallie Campbell, the law firm, Campbell and Campbell. Coming back the other way, it's Bickerton. A little tip. Well played by Emma Latsnick. What a play. Hallie Campbell looking for a spot, won't find it. The libero Johnston rushes up and passes it to Bickerton. Bad touch. 21-18.
Just on Lyric McGlee and her well-rounded skills as an athlete, she was the triple jump county champion. I'm pretty sure it was triple jump.
That was impressive.
But yeah, Lyric, she can do a little bit of everything.
Timeout taken by Elizabeth Ford. Now, Steve, one other question I got for you, and this, in my mind, ties into your work at Carlow University. You are also working on a PhD.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Yeah, in dissertation phase, I'm working on a sociocultural study for club hockey. Actually, it's part of my coaching role at Penn West Vulcans hockey program, studying team cohesion, team sports. What it takes to really build a culture that's supportive of a championship culture. All of the various factors that go into club sports specifically. You don't see as much resource at a club sport level as you do at an intercollegiate level. Right. And so the environment, the culture is a little different, student driven, and so many variables that go into it, and I think it's just an area that it's growing. Club sports is growing in higher ed. It's an alternative,
which is
opportunity.
Great. You want to see that
for students that don't get a scholarship coming out of high school to continue playing sports. And so my mission is really just to be a champion of club sports and someone that can help create a better experience for those down the way.
Really love to hear that, and club sports, of course, very important for the students who just have the passion to play. Talk about a passionate play. Hallie Campbell delivers big there for Uniontown. 22-18, Lyric McGlee needs 3 to put it away. Here's the serve. Settles. Going to pass it to Rakunas. They go to Bickerton, now hitting right side, and this one doesn't make it. And now the crowd coming to life just a bit more, 23-18.
Lyric comes 2 points away here, and so far she's serving well. I hope I don't give her the announcement yet. Now, Steve, if you get that, I'm sure you will. I don't want to say if you get that PhD, do we call you Doc like they did to the
Doc Oberlin?
Yeah.
Doc Oberlin. Oh, yeah, no.
They did for the great.
John, please don't.
Yeah.
Please don't. No. Just call me Steve. I'm fine with that.
Uniontown can still win at 25. It's 23-19.
And that serve did not go according to plan for Uniontown, so I did it again.
Livengood is going to be blocked by Settles. Yeah, great cover there. Settles first touch for Kunis. Going to move it outside. Check that right side swing there from 13 Leonard. And this one falls in for Uniontown ahead of a diving Meadow Watton.
Nice play there. Ava goes up, kind of fakes it, and then Hallie Campbell finishes off. So kind of a nice little fake out there.
Ava Livengood looking for the win. 24-19. McGlee digs this one out. Campbell going to set up. Hallie Campbell swinging outside. Sent to the net. Will this one get over? We got a violation. And gentlemen, get out your flat bottom boats. We're sailing down the Redstone Creek with a win tonight all the way to the Monongahela. And to Elizabeth, the Lady Warriors fall in 4 sets, 25-19 here in set 4. Uniontown takes it. Steve and John, 3 sets to 1.
Josh, this is what you need if you're Uniontown. You know, you get back in the win column, right? You had 3 straight losses, but now you take a win. You'll see Brownsville, you'll see Bell Vernon, a couple games to really kind of get your foot back into the groove, right? You started out with 3 wins. Let's get back to that 3-win stretch and then see game by game how we're doing.
Yeah, and obviously the Bell Vernon match. I don't know if you have it there, Steve. So we got Brownsville, non-section, then Bell Vernon. So that's
your next 2 games are going to set you up for that AG rematch.
Right, and we're going to have ourselves an interview here real quick with head coach Paulina Nottingham. We're going to have her step in, and she's brought 2 players with her as well, Emma Latchnick and Addison Majoris. And because we have an internal mic, I'm just going to ask that you use a nice loud speaking voice so that we definitely catch you. We're going to start with you, Coach. That was obviously a needed win, an exciting win, and one where you really took the bull by the horns there in set 4. How did that feel?
Good. We made a lot of changes. Every single set we had a different rotation in, and I think for some teams that can cause them to crumble, but that's what we practice all the time is being able to step in into whatever role you have to. One of the reasons I brought Emma over here, she has never played right back until today, on this season, and she stepped into that role and helped execute it and helped our team get our victory.
And Emma, we talked about you during the broadcast. Jonathan Guth, Stephen Oberle were here with us tonight. Stephen from Carlow University, Jonathan from the Uniontown Herald Standard. And Jonathan could not say enough about how excellent you played in the back row. Sort of an unsung hero. That role does not always get the glory, but it had to feel good to help that way tonight.
Yes, it definitely did, yeah.
Well, I do have to say, Emma, I feel old because I went to school with your parents, but so did George. But you, when I came here when you guys played AG, I think you did get in, but you started tonight. And Coach, maybe you've already been doing that. I haven't seen you guys in a few matches, but how do you feel starting from coming, your age and everything?
It feels really good, honestly, yeah. I feel like I worked really hard for this spot, and it does feel really good to start finally.
We had a conversation.
Yeah, we did.
Before the match. And the conversation was, she worked her butt off in practice, and sometimes in games, it's a little tense, and I told her, I said, not today. And she did it. So kudos to her. That takes a lot to overcome that. Game nerves can be a lot. So to be able to do that in a new position definitely shows
Oh,
how
absolutely.
hard she's worked.
And Coach, we had a chance to speak with your assistant, Coach Spear, tonight before the match started, and he said a lot of work had been done in practice and that he felt the team was in a relatively good place, that practice had went well. Do you feel that that did in fact roll over for you tonight and apply to this match?
I think so. Coming off of 3 section losses is hard, but they're the 3 top teams in the country. And I think we learned a lot from those games, and we kind of learned how to persevere. And I think EF came out tonight ready to play, and that's something that we've talked about. Is I've had multiple coaches come up to us and say, we've heard about Uniontown, but now we're seeing it, and we want to beat you guys. No one wants to lose to the new Uniontown. And so I think everyone is coming out. We got a target on our backs, and tonight we answered that.
Well, I may have said this in the correct broadcast. The AG's coming, EF's coming, they only have 1 win, but they're coming off a win. But you guys actually were, you played Turkey. But I guess I was saying you're coming off the second. So, I mean, and the girls can answer too. I mean, obviously you knew this was a big match, especially for, positioning and hopefully getting the playoff spot. I know a big one coming up with Belburn. But, I mean, how do you all feel about that? I mean, I'm sure it was a stress point by the coaches to be ready because they're feeling pretty good. They're desperate, and you guys, I'm not saying you weren't feeling good, but still, it's always a little tougher coming off the second loss.
Yeah. So truthfully, I don't care about losses. Like right now, we are in the point of the season where we should be starting to peak, and we lose 3 games. All right, we can just get better from it, and that's something that we've talked about a lot. Is you can win and not get any better, and then you can lose and get a lot better. And I think our last 3 losses made us better. It made us realize that as a team, when we talk, we play a hell of a lot better. When we do our jobs, we play well. When we control our side of the court, that's when we play well. So truthfully, I'm thankful for those losses because I think that it showed us the gaps we needed to work on, and then I think the girls are showing up in practice to help fill those gaps. I don't know where to put people sometimes, not because I don't have the position, I just don't know who to put in because they're all competing for it.
And of course, the great thing about volleyball in this situation, you have another match with these teams, so you can always gauge that first time versus second.
Yep, and that's what we're preparing for. We're preparing for have a nice end of season rest.
Addison, how did it feel tonight? You're functioning as the libero. Late in the match, there were many times where Maggie Campbell, when she was functioning as the setter, had to take the first touch. You're jumping up to set. What's going through your mind when that happens?
I love setting. It was always like a goal of mine. Like I never wanted to be a setter, but I always loved being a libero because I can set. Because I feel like I can do it good sometimes. So whenever I can set a good ball, like sometimes they're not always good, but whenever I do set a good ball, and sometimes get an assist and they get a kill, so it feels really good.
And for both of you, for Emma and Addison, obviously you have played teams recently that are relatively senior heavy. And your team is comparatively young. It does have to feel good to know, hey, look, most of that team you had on the floor tonight is coming back next season. A lot of the team on the opposite side is not because they would have graduated. What sort of confidence and what sort of motivation does it give you to work now? We heard about how hard you're working in practice. To work now in order to be that better team next year.
It kind of gives us the more drive because they're older than us, so we want to push more. We want that win more because we know they're older than us. I'm not saying younger people aren't as good as them, but you know what I mean? Older people give us that more drive.
Right, it gives you some motivation because their experience should be able to lift them, but tonight you got it done.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Ladies, I just have to ask about one of your teammates, and I'm sure you'll echo this. Ava Livingood. I mean, she really kills, serves. But I guess that's something, Coach, you probably you're proud of her, but just you kind of
Yeah, so what we've been working on with Ava a lot is that fast transition game because she is tall and she's a force to be reckoned with whenever she is there. So we've really worked on making a faster offense, faster sets, so that she's getting up there and swinging on faster. And tonight, I think it was executed really well because we had good passes, right? Volleyball is a game of, it's a game of patterns. Like if you don't have a good pass, it's going to be really hard to set your middle. But I think tonight we had good passes, so we were able to utilize that middle. And then running that 5-1 with Maggie, who's obviously a very experienced setter, they both connect really well. And so we can run some of those slides and spread the offense out a little bit.
And Ava did a lot of early stage, but Ava's going to try to spike it and then
Hallie.
Hallie.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm not great.
And that's something that we really talk about, and that is kudos to Maggie and her as a setter and her IQ. What you may not see from over here is when Maggie's coming up to set, if she sees those blockers standing on Ava, that's when she's throwing it to the outside, or she's going to back, or going to the back 5. And so I think that's really kudos to her for setting her hitters up into that position to be able to put the ball down.
And if you do listen to this back, it should be like, oh, John from God's weirdo. But I just noticed things you've done that I honestly, I mean, I'm not an expert, but I've covered this sport for a while, and like your coaching, telling them where to hit the ball before they serve. I'm sure other coaches do that, but I don't see that a lot. But I mean, everybody has different strategies, but just different things to make it up, and I mean, you know, obviously worked tonight. So.
Yeah. And we've been practicing it a lot. Like I said, we're in that place where we've had our weeks to develop, and we're ready to really kind of push the pedal forward.
Coach, I have one more question for you, and you did touch on this. You nearly answered it. Early in the match, Ava Livingood crushing Elizabeth Ford. They did not seem to have an immediate answer for her. But starting in the second set, they did really anticipate her movement and had the blocks in place. I know that has to be difficult when you have somebody of Ava's skill getting blocked. What do you tell that player when the ball is blocked back at him, especially when she came out of the gate? I think John had it for us. 5 out of her first 5 attacks were successful. And then they're selling out to block. You mentioned getting the ball out to the outside hitter. What do you tell Ava?
Actually, I literally said to her, I go up and move, pinky down, go somewhere else. Because she was kind of hitting straight into them, because most people aren't getting up on her when she's going nice and fast. They ended up setting their block really nicely. So we adjusted a little bit. Maggie set a little bit more of a push one, so the one went a little farther out than just right in front. And I said to Ava, I said, pinky down or thumb down. Figure out when you get up there, if you watch back on you pause it at the very end, pinky's either going this way or thumb's going that way or cut it back. So that's what we talked about, using those arm swings instead of just going up and swinging as hard as you can. That's why she was such a force in those.
Awesome. She did bounce back. Obviously, she played a great match all night. Addison and Emma, you both were awesome to see. It was a great collective team effort. Everybody played a role, so congratulations on the win. It's a big section win, and obviously the season is still young. There's still a lot of volleyball yet to play.
Yep, 5 and 3.
Now, do you guys have a tournament coming?
Yes, on Saturday. That's
what the Brownsville coach told me. So, and you guys have played in one section, or is that still gonna? Okay, and then of course you got the Bell Vernon. I think after. So, you get a tournament to get that reputation, and then have a tough one section, but that'll give you some more preparation for the Bell Vernon match. And I just want to say, Coach, after trying to do statistics, I was probably way off.
I think I have some for you. We're getting better at ours.
But I was going to say, it gave me a new appreciation for this, because I really was trying hard. And I was like, my gosh, I'm lucky I can get the kills, let alone the digs and the serve. I mean,
we actually have 3 people doing
yeah. So it's
That's good.
It's a very, you're doing it. Yeah, well,
Very good, John.
You're doing it great.
And John, you did such a good job of not being biased. At one point, John was rooting maybe he wants to be non-biased for the Herald. He was rooting a little too hard for Uniontown. The mayor of Elizabethboro called and said, "Who is this guy, and why is he mad at us?" But John did throw out some compliments to the opponent at the end.
They played very well. They played very well.
Well, it's one of those things. You're on a broadcast here. It's a Uniontown broadcast, but through my job, I'm told you have to be unbiased even for teams that are yours. So it's just a funny thing. I'm not going to be leading cheers, but of course I am a proud Uniontown alum. So ladies, we all are.
We all are.
And
so we were excited to see the win tonight.
You're new, but we will say you're honorary, Uniontown alumni. But great to see you, ladies, and great to have some good news out of Uniontown. Maybe I shouldn't have said that on this, but
Great win tonight. Thank you so much for coming over and talking to us. We really appreciate that, and good luck this weekend with the tournament and into next week as well. We'll be back here October 6th for the Carmichael's match.
Perfect. Thank you.
Let's bring back in Stephen real quick. Stephen, final thoughts before we conclude tonight. Thank you, by the way, for being with us. Stephen Oberle coming to us from Carlow University, where he is very, very excited about a new program there. And if you did not catch that, and roll the broadcast back, Stephen speaks about it a little bit, a program that we think will be appealing to a lot of young people. Final thoughts on the match tonight?
Yeah, excitement. You know, I'm so happy for Uniontown. They're able to kind of reestablish the win column, right? Get back in the win column. The energy, the excitement was fantastic. You know, the growth that you see in this program is something to note. You know, Coach has obviously been able to kind of recreate a certain culture that obviously is fitting, right? What they're doing, they're able to maintain mental resilience through the stretch, through the third and fourth set. Whenever you go up with a split, you know what I mean? It's such a test to your players.
You have to be able to bounce
and
back.
So you know the resilience, the flexibility, the ability to sort of change your style, your approach, having new lineups each set. You know what I mean? And practicing with that, obviously, as she said, you want to be at your peak at this part of the season. So, extremely grateful for the invite to be here today. Thank you so much, John. Thank you.
Thank you,
It was
Steve.
a pleasure
And
to be a part of the
Yeah.
Three-Headed Monster.
And we thought it would be great, Steve, you know, through these, obviously we are anticipating some student help in the future, but in the meantime, when we can find some former Uniontown Red Raiders who are out there doing good, and Steve, you're out there doing good, even John Guth, even John is out there doing good.
I don't know.
Yeah, I hear it all the time, actually.
John has put his cantankerous ways aside. John, final thoughts for you before we conclude tonight.
Well, I thank you for bringing me back on again. I'm surprised they haven't banned me yet, but I mean it's just great to see a Uniontown squad having success, and I mean that I'm not trying to say a negative thing, but just you know it's tough sometimes to see you know somewhere you went to school just constantly you know talked about negatively.
Right, so we're glad for the good
so
news.
I'm glad to see this and see these girls. I mean they come over and they're a little bit shy about it, which I can understand. I mean, see me, it's like, oh god. But really, I think it's important to these kids, and you know, I'm sure they're going to say like, well, this guy's interviewed me. That one dude was weird, but at least he talked to me. So, but seriously, I'm really glad to see that. Coach Nottingham, and I know the other assistants, Coach Ryan Wagner, and I'm sorry for the one gentleman's name that escapes me.
Ricky Spear.
Yeah, Coach Spear doing a great job. I mean, it doesn't. It takes more.
We were confirming your name.
It takes more than one.
Great effort. Great work
coach.
tonight.
So for three coaches doing a great job putting all this together for these girls, because obviously we see it out around the court, but there's so much that goes on in the practice time that we do not see here. So great job, and Coach has got them rolling pretty good here. I mean, you know, Bell Vernon match. I know they don't want to look ahead, but I guess we can. That should be one hot ticket. I'm not sure if the first one's here or there, but regardless, hopefully people, if it is there, can make the trip. Bell Vernon is not too far. I guess Stephen played a lot of his hockey at the.
Oh yeah, Ross Traver Ice.
Yes.
Now CFS Bank Arena.
Yeah.
So they will not play the volleyball match there, but Bell Vernon Area High School is not too far from there, right. So if they're going down there, hopefully folks can check it out. You always like to have a good crowd, and I would encourage others if they're watching. I appreciate them watching us, but hopefully they can come out and see this Uniontown squad. These girls deserve the recognition.
Absolutely. Thank you, John. Thank you, Steve. Jonathan Guth from the Uniontown Herald-Standard. Check his work out in the Herald. Stephen Oberle coming to us from Carlow University. Keep an eye out for his programs in the future. Carlow really on the cusp of doing some truly great things. They are doing great things now, certainly both academically and athletically, and are heading for even grander designs, the NCAA, and some new programs that may be really focused toward a future for some of our young people involved in the health and the athletic sciences, if you will. I'm Joshua Scully. Thank you for checking us out tonight on UHS Talk. We will be back in action next Thursday with soccer. Enjoy your weekend, and of course, good luck to our Uniontown Lady Raiders volleyball team. Big tournament going on this weekend. Hopefully, they bring back some real success, and we're excited about where this program is heading under the direction of Coach Paulina Nottingham. Enjoy your weekend, have a great night, and go Raiders tomorrow night at York Run.